Hold on, chat. I just got a text message here. I'm trying to sort out. Okay. So, welcome everybody. Thursday night. Yeah. So, while I'm out, going out there doing real lawyer stuff, and then spending a little bit of time with 2.0, and then going out and mowing the yard, all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, the world basically melted down around it, which is kind of funny. I was just listening to the Duran talk about what's going on in Ukraine. Oh, well. Welcome to the Thursday night show, everybody. If you're new, welcome here. Tonight, a little bit of a change in things. We're only broadcasting on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Had a little fight with Rumble, was not wasting time getting it going. And we've actually quit using Kick because nobody actually comes on there to Kick. I mean, I think the only people that make Kick work are Kino Casino, and, that's cool. But, nobody else seems to make it work so far, so, oh, well. We got people also watching over on Locals, last but not least, Locals. And if you guys are new, Locals is before I start, if you guys are new, yes, my name is Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I am an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area. I practice primarily criminal defense work, but do a little bit of everything. And this is the Thursday night show where we talk about stuff that's kind of happened during the week, stuff that's important, sometimes breaking news like tonight. And we're going to kind of cover everything. And it's usually a very, very fun time. So stick around in that regard. But now getting back to Locals, guys, if you don't know what Locals is basically kind of like the more fun version of Patreon and what Patreon was supposed to be way back in the day. That's the thing here. It's what Patreon was supposed to be. Then a Patreon turned into a complete disaster. And, well, yeah. So this allows you to go to a place where you can say what you want to say. You're not restricted by things. You can act how you want to act, as long as you're not Fed posting. And pretty much that's it. If you guys join, it costs you nothing to be a member. And just like in Patreon, we have a member wall. We have our community where people can post things that are going on, their own thoughts, their own comments to things. I post things, and, we have a lot of fun there. And also, we do what I think is truly the best part of Locals. We do live shows there. I do 2 live shows a week, every Monday night, about 8:30 or so. And then a show right after this. Because after the show, it's the after party, as R. Kelly would say. And how do you access those, you may ask? Well, you have to be a supporter. And as a supporter, you support at $3 a month. That's the least amount they let me charge. You pay for 10 months, you get 2 months free. I usually say that's wrong half the time, so don't want to give the wrong impression. Pay for 10 months, you get 2 months free. But you get access to all those with it. They're always a fun time. There's never a dull moment. And along with your membership, just being a free member, you get access to the Thursday live chat, which I forgot to put up, but I'm putting up right now. And you guys get to hang out there and talk, and you guys can do stuff over there. So that's over at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. If you guys are curious and you want to try it a little bit, you can use the promo code SWITCHY, like Switchy on the back of a Glock, and you get 1 month free access to everything. So hopefully I see you guys there. It's a very fun time. I think everybody who's involved in there would recommend it. And oh my gosh, there are a million people tonight. Yeah, a lot of questions. Also, guys, if you are new, we try to give about 10 minutes, let some people filter in. I know there's, okay, well, I guess, you know what? We got 797 people going here. I think everybody came over from Josh. Thank you for rating. I appreciate it. I guess it's 5 minutes in. We'll get started. The big 10,000-pound gorilla in the room. Nick Rekieta was arrested today. And I know for a lot of you people are going to, all the jokes aside, he was actually arrested today. He was booked into the Kandiyohi County Jail. And we'll start with that because that's the first thing we know. And you know what? And the way I'm looking at this, guys, what we're going to try to do here is I'm going to try to treat this Like, it's me dealing with, like, if you called me and said, "Hey, my friend or my cousin or somebody is in jail. What do we do?" Well, you start off by telling me, like, who are they? Where are they at? What happened? And sometimes I don't know any of that information other than their name. And I said, okay, well, what city was he arrested by? And they'll tell me, like, oh, was arrested by like the Painesville police. Okay, so I know it's at the Lake County, Ohio jail. Or they might say, oh, the Shaker Heights police arrested him. Okay, so he's downtown in Cuyahoga County jail. And I start from there trying to figure out what's going on. Because from there, I could figure out some basic information, especially if they just got arrested. I mean, that's all we have. And now we don't well, what happened? What did they get arrested for? Well, we actually have that. And that information is here at the Candioi County Jail. And these are their in custodies as of 1949 hours. So as of 7:49, 10 till 8 Central Time, here's who's in custody. Now there's a bunch of people, so we get all the way down to where things are. And obviously Nick has been arrested, so has his wife Kayla. And then April Imholt from Seal Toe Morning Show has been arrested as well. Now, if you notice, these guys all like, what are their charges now? And that's where you start with. You start with what are their charges? Yeah. So what do we start with? Well, you start with like, okay, what are the charges here? And the basic charge, the first charge is court pending. Now, these are just the basic charges they were arrested on. This doesn't mean what they're eventually going to formally be charged with in a charging complaint or an indictment or whatever it is down the road. This is just what they got arrested on. So let's start with that. And as cop says, all suspects are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. And that's true for them as well. So what do we know about Nick and Kayla? They both have companion charges. All right. So he was charged with violating Minnesota statute 152.025.2, subsection 1. Well, what is that? What does that actually mean? Well, we can figure that out pretty quick. So what is Minnesota statutes? Well, 152.025 is controlled substances and crime in the 5th degree. We'll get to what 5th degree means in a second. So a person is guilty of a controlled substance in the 5th degree. And like I said, guys, we're going to break it down. This is how I break it down. And obviously, if I found all this out and I saw this in Ohio, I wouldn't have to like read through this. But if you called me, here's what I tell you. It's guilty of a controlled substance crime in the 5th degree. Maybe sentence is provided. Okay. But it's not a sale issue. So we can skip this part, right? We can go, yep, doesn't matter. But what can we then move on to? We could then move on to the possession and other crimes. So you don't have to panic about the first part. A person's guilty of a controlled substance crime in the 5th degree if they unlawfully possessed one or more mixtures containing a controlled substance classified in Schedule 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, what is 1, 2, 3, or 4? Well, most states just literally copy the federal schedule. So that's going to be the issue there. That doesn't mean, going back to what Nick and Kayla have, that doesn't mean they're looking at, he had a possession 1 drug, a Schedule 2 drug, a Schedule 3 drug, and a Schedule 4. All this is saying he had like 1 or more parts of these. Maybe it was a Schedule 2, maybe it's a Schedule 3, maybe it's a combination of 2 or 3. I mean, like, I will say, going back to that show, based on my experience dealing with clients, yeah, the way he reacted and the way he kind of took off like a rocket at one point, it's probably some stimulant in there. Well, the scary thing about that is, depending on what he was using, and let's just presume he was riding the White Stallion, doing a little bit of that cocaine, that yayo, the snow. He was skiing, nose beers, whatever you want to call it, booger sugar. The scary part about that is, cocaine is not pure cocaine. That's like a 1980s thing. You're not going to get pure cocaine. You're going to get cocaine with something in it. And one of the very common things they put in a lot of times is, like meth or, fentanyl, which, like none of that's good. They put in all kinds of stuff. They use gasoline to help distill cocaine. So if you're snorting coke, you're ingesting petrochemicals as well. So it could be a combination of any of this stuff. So who knows? Who knows what it is? I don't think it involves anything involving, and it just based on the way Nick has been, and he's talked about using drugs. I don't think there's any issue about him attempting to procure or possessing a controlled substance through any of the following means. And by this part here, like fraud, deceit, misrepresentation, subterfuge, using a false name or giving false credit, or falsely assuming the title of. This is all like stealing pharmaceutical drugs. So I don't think any of this applies to Nick. I really think it's just based on what they've cited. It's up here at the top. It's this stuff. He did something. He possessed something. I don't know what yet. And Garrett says, you'd be nuts to trust coke any of these days. Yeah, I mean, you know how many clients I've had where they're like, I was snorting a rail and then I OD'd. It's like, no shit. And they're like, well, whoops. And I'm like, yeah, that's a whoops. That's a whoops. That happens a lot. And they're like, oops. They're like, well, how did that happen? I'm like, well, and they're like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Now, ultimately, I'm like I said, I'm not here to laugh. You know, how was this going to work for him? Well, we'll get to the next parts. Like, how did he get arrested? I don't know. Did the police respond to a call for service? Maybe. Maybe there was a call for like domestic violence. Maybe there was a call for a disorderly conduct. Maybe there was a welfare check called. Maybe some A-log dropped a dime. Now, do I think somebody like this ended up being like I don't know. I mean, the police could have hit the house and put a warrant together and then raided the house. We don't really know. There's no knowledge of this yet. So we're kind of in the dark ultimately about what the charges are. And then I know a lot of people are saying, well, what type of things is he facing? Well, those were 5th degree felonies. It said in the 5th degree, as we, saw that. Okay, so what's the 5th degree mean? Carol's saying he was on air when it happened? I didn't know that. And guys, I know you got a bunch of super chats here. I will catch up in a second. Give me 1 minute. What does the 5th degree mean in Minnesota? Well, the 5th degree is a way you can, figure things out is a 5th degree in Minnesota, and I did some research on this. It's a potential maximum of up to 5 years in prison. He could, he's facing a couple years in prison on that. Now, here's the deal. That's the worst case scenario. It's faced up to 5 years, in prison or jail and a fine of up to $10,000. Does that mean he's going to get it? No, that's the worst case scenario. Does that mean like Nick's not going to make license plates at the state pen? That ain't happening. People are bringing up, could the cops have been watching his streams? Very likely. That's why you don't do fucking illegal things on TV. As Stringer Bell has frequently said,
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking, man?
I mean, that also applies to just like, don't document your fucking crimes. I mean, this right here, guys, it's a big tattle machine, but this thing right here, you guys, it's an even bigger tattle machine. So don't do it. Don't do it. I highly recommend you don't do it. I really recommend you don't do it. So what happens from here? Well, we got to get to the second crime first. I know you guys want to know that. The second crime he got charged with, and if we go back to what he got charged with, it is 6.24.713.1, possessing ammo or firearms users have controlled. That means, and we'll kind of skip to it here. It's certain persons not to possess firearms. The following, and it says ineligible persons. The following persons shall not be entitled to possess ammunition or a pistol or semi-automatic military-style assault weapon. Remember, this is Minnesota, where the Farm Labor Union is the name for the Democratic Party. They're fucking wackos out there. Except for Clause 1, any other firearm. So Clause 1 talks about people under the age of 18 who are may possess it if they're in the actual presence of an adult. if it's for military drill, purposes of instruction, on a firing range, and all these other things that are out there. Okay, cool. We don't have to worry about that. That's not what he's charged with. We have to get down to the bottom. Part 10. A person who was convicted in any court by a crime punishable by term exceeding 1 year. Nope. Fugitive justice. Nope. If you guys are looking through this all right here, this looks like 18 USC 922G. It is. Is the unlawful user of any controlled substances defined in Chapter 152? Huh. We just looked at Chapter 152. That's the drug statute in Minnesota. So that's why. So there you go. And from what I can tell, that's another 5th degree felony. A felony in the 5th degree. Somebody like Bruce Rivers knows it's better than I do. There's other attorneys out there who know better than I do. But yeah, he's looking at a lot of time. This isn't good. Drugs and guns are never a good mix. Now, the funny thing is, from what we can tell, when Nick goes has displayed his guns before, the 2 guns he owns, he has to go somewhere and get them, so they're locked up and safe. But still, they're under his possession, his control, his possession is exerting dominion over an item. So even though they're locked up, he has the safe, he has the access, he's got the codes, so he's possessing them. And Kayla lives in the house. It's her house. She has access to that safe. She's possessing them. April is not. You guys notice April was only charged with possessing drugs because she doesn't have, that's not her house. She's not, they probably don't presume she has dominion over the guns. So that's why she's there. Now, what's all this mean for them? Well, they're looking, yeah, is it a bullshit gun charge? Yeah. And Christine says, what drugs? I don't know what drugs they are. Nick's talked about doing Molly before, and an MDMA, ecstasy. When he came out, he had stuff on his nose, so some sort of drug he was snorting. I don't know, cocaine, fentanyl, meth. I doubt it was fentanyl because he fired up, but Adderall, any number of prescriptions or things that were illegally obtained. Who knows what it is? I don't know, but they charged him with it. So that's presumably what it is. Something. I just don't know. Yes, Bruce Rivers, the criminal lawyer. Yes. And when you're on stream with stuff on your nose, I consider that self-snitching too. So got to stop. So what happens from here? Well, the next step. Okay, we know what he's charged with. We know what he's facing. Well, now he's in jail. He has to go to court. Okay, where is he going to go to court? Well, from what I understand about Minnesota, it's Candioi County, and they have a district court. And Wilmar, Minnesota is just down the road from Nick. And from what I can tell here, and this is what I'm going off of based on my, every state is different. So district court has original jurisdiction in all civil, family, probate, juvenile, criminal, traffic cases filed in a county. We don't do that in Ohio. That's a completely different system. So presumably he's going to be here dealing with this court. Now, I don't know what judge he's going to be in front of. I assume there's probably not too many judges. It's a very rural county. But when's he going? I don't know. And the reason why I don't know is I looked up their court doc for the date range of 5/23 to 5/30. This is for the next 7 days. Obviously, this is subject to change, but for right now, this is what they've got. Category civil, criminal. Okay. And if we scroll down right now in the R's, nothing. Okay. Well, that doesn't mean a whole lot for us. I will say this is a bit of an issue because, Nick says he doesn't like this judge, and that's Judge Fisher on his case of Monty. So it's oh boy. Hopefully he hasn't seen any of the streams lately. But going back to the feed here of the court, they talk about the calendars posted at 7 a.m. each day and updated hourly throughout the day. So I don't know. I'd say starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow, you might know whether or not Nick is going to court or not. He's going to be subject to an arraignment. Oh, why did this not show up here? Okay. So, oh, God, I boomered it, didn't you? So he's going to be subject to an arraignment. but I don't know what's going to happen because right now, searching through this is the alpha roster for Kandiyohi County. He's not on it, but that makes sense. He literally just got arrested today. The police have to finish filing their charges. They probably worked on it throughout the day. He was taken to the clerk of court. Could he be in front of the judge tomorrow? Sure. You'd like to think so because otherwise he might sit for a little while. I don't know if they do weekend, like because it's a 3-day weekend, they might do a Saturday court. I doubt in a place like that they do. But he could be sitting all weekend, could be sitting until next week. And then it becomes an issue of what kind of, bond is he going to get? Well, it's Minnesota, so I think probably as of right now, I don't think Minnesota has removed cash bail. They were trying to remove it, but even then, if they did, from what I understand, it was meaning of misdemeanor level offenses. For Nick, that's not where he's at right now. Does that mean he's going to get like $100,000 bond or something crazy? No, not at this point. These are, relatively speaking, these are low level offenses. What would I say if I were like representing Nick right now? I'd be like, Your Honor, good morning. These are low level offenses. They're not offenses of violence. My client has no criminal record. Nick has no criminal record outside this. Neither is Kayla. Like, they have no criminal record. They have a home. My client is employed. He's self-employed. He runs his own business. They have a place to stay. They are members here in the community. They're not a flight risk. Yeah, I presumably he'd get some sort of personal recognizance bond or a very, very, very low cash bond. I would presume a recognizance bond. That would make a lot of sense here to have him say like $50,000. Bam. Yeah, he's well established in the community. All kinds of stuff. I don't think that's going to happen to him. I would presume so. We'll get to the kids in a second, guys. And yeah, 11 2 times. That's why I said Tuesday. Monday is a holiday. Monday's Memorial Day. So guess what? Courts ain't open. I don't go to court. I don't, can't file nothing. So ain't nothing happening here. I presume he gets some sort of personal recognizance bond or an OR bond or an ROR bond, whatever you want to call it. He could probably get out of jail without having to front any money. And even if he does, it's, his family, like the family will be able to put some money together. They'll probably be allowed to post 10% with the court. I assume you can do that in Minnesota. At the very least, they go to a bondsman to get money. That's not going to be an issue of getting him out. What's going to happen though? There's going to be pre-trial release conditions. He's going to be, at his arraignment, he can enter a plea not guilty. Cool. He's going to be told he can't associate with co-defendants. That's a little bit different because him and Kayla are married and they share a house and they're presumably together. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe Kayla goes and hangs, like her family's in the area. I don't know what they'll do. But certainly April is going to get told you can't fucking go back because she was there. They're going to tell her go the fuck somewhere else. But the judge will probably say, like, other than your wife, you're to have no contact with any defendants. You're refrain from any drugs or alcohol, especially alcohol. They might have him report to pretrial services because this is a drug case. So he might have to drug test. And I don't know how they do it in Kandiyohi County. They might put a scram, like one of those bracelets on his leg that can detect alcohol. They might put him on the, you got to call every day. You've got a color and you have to call and see if your color's up. I don't know what their pretrial release system is currently. So a lot of this is in the air. A lot of it's in the air what's going to happen. From there, what about their kids? I don't know where this happened at. Presumably this happened at their house. And I just mentioned that because it looks like he's not charged with like an OVI offense. It doesn't sound like it was like in the news, like a crash or anything like that. So the police showed up, they arrested Nick and Kayla, and they're going to say like, okay, well, what about your kids? Now, even the kids who are like 16 years old are under, the state has to figure out what's going to happen with them. So they probably said to Nick and Kayla, hey, who can watch these kids? Who can take them right now? Someone has to come get them. I know Kayla's family's in the area. I know Nick's family. I know his like parents snowbird, but they come back up in the summer. So they might be in town. They both have family in the area. And they said, okay, because otherwise the county has to pick him up and put him somewhere. Now, presumably CPS came and was like sitting with the kids, making sure they're all okay. And then Nick's family or Kayla's family picked him up because they're going to look for kinship placement. That's the first place you go is kinship placement. Can someone take care of these kids right now? So those kids are going to be with somebody. And given the fact there's allegations of drug use in the home and who knows what else is being alleged, the kids are not going to be allowed to be in home with Nick and Kayla. So there's probably going to be a child services case, which in Ohio, when you take all of this, and guys, nothing I'm saying here is harming any of my clients. This is just literally how this all goes. They have a right to they're your children. They have a right for a hearing on that. So in Ohio, we call this a shelter care hearing. The children were taken ex parte, meaning they probably went to a judge, and the judge said, a juvenile court judge, and the judge is like, holy shit, yeah, you can take those kids from the home. This ain't good. CPS check. And the children's services may have temporary custody of them, and they're being watched by family. I don't know how that's how it would work here in Ohio. I assume it's probably something similar in Minnesota. There's some sort of custody issue going on. And Nick and Kayla probably are going to have a children's services case opened up on them soon. And they're going to have a juvenile court case to deal with, all these allegations. And how's that going to mesh with the criminal case? Well, that becomes an issue of, their criminal rights are going to supersede the issues going on there. So things might get put on hold. But yeah, for right now, they're probably going to, if they get released, they're going to be going home to a house without kids in it. And it's not like they can go back and say, take the kids and bring them back home. If that happens, CPS is coming right away. So that ain't happening. Yeah, scram tethers are pretty neat how and what they will detect. Yeah, basically a scram unit, guys, is something you attach to your leg. And it's literally it looks like a GPS monitor. And it detects the sweat. And here's the thing, you're always sweating. You're always perspiring. It's just like in microscopic amounts. And it can detect the alcohol being released through your body because it off gases basically in a way. It's kind of weird. It's super weird, but it works. And it can detect when you're using. So yeah. Now, who called? Like I said, I don't know. If it was somebody involved who made the call, fine. If it's Aaron, whoever, I just hope it wasn't an A-log because yeah, I just don't like that. No one likes that. No one likes that at all. No one likes that at all. Dorian saying, I'm sorry, I just saw this pop up. Missed the beginning. What was he arrested for and charged with? They were arrested and tentatively now and charged with possession of a controlled substance and possession of a firearm while possessing a controlled substance. Now let's get through that. They've been through the arraignment. They have their bond. What's going to happen? Well, presumably this is felony level activity. There's going to be felony charges. Maybe it stays misdemeanor. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what's happened because remember, the police screw up all the time. So something may happen, something may change. They may look at this case and say, if these guys are first time offenders, maybe we'll make these misdemeanors. I don't know. For right now, we can't presume that. Let's just presume the normal process. This will get presented to a grand jury. They might get indicted via an information. And these aren't the only charges they may face. There might be multiple counts of controlled substances issues being alleged. They have 5 children. In Ohio, that's 5 counts of felony child endangering. So that could happen to them. I don't know. I don't know how that normally happens in Minnesota, but that could very well happen to them. Nick is getting these drugs, like they're getting these drugs from somewhere. So now you've got trafficking issues, and conspiracy to commit trafficking. And who knows what else they're doing as far as all this is concerned. There's a lot of things that could be charged here that we simply don't know yet that would likely be applicable. There's a lot of things here. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I mean, that's what I think is going to happen. That basically that whole timeline is what I've just run through. So that's about all I can say. That's about all I can say here. As far as what do I hope happens? Well, I hope for Nick, like I said this, I keep saying it. I hope he gets better. I really do. I've said that the entire time. Whatever the hell it is, I hope he gets it figured out. Now, what's going to happen from here? For a lot of people, getting caught is a godsend because it gives them a chance, like, oh my God, I really am fucking up. I need to focus. Like, oh, I don't have a problem. The criminal justice system, the state of Minnesota says, actually, you do. And maybe this gives them a chance because a lot of people won't get better till they crash and burn. Or now they've got the full force of the government hanging over their head. So we'll see. Now, there might be intervention programs, there might be diversion programs. A lot of things may be accessible to them because they are first time offenders. I don't know about any of that. I don't know specifically how that's done. I don't know, is their prosecutor's office, are they cool about that? Are the judges in that county cool about that? It really all depends. But there's a million different ways this can go, guys. Stacy says reason for a search warrant. Who knows if there was a search warrant? They could have shown up to a domestic violence issue and they come in the house and they found drugs. Or somebody saying, oh, there's drugs. He's got drugs. She's got drugs. And people start arguing with each other. That could happen. The kids could have called 911. There could have been an overdose. There's a million different ways this could have gone. Or the guy who brings them drugs. The police are following him, caught him, busted him. I don't know. There are a million ways this could have happened. A million ways this could have happened. Like I just had a client where I'm dealing with. He got busted for having like a bag full of Xanax pills and like 50 grams of meth. And what happened to him? Well, the police only found out about it because they caught him out in the street howling like a dog because he'd taken a bunch of drugs and was having a bad trip on him. And that's the only reason why the police found that this guy was even involved in drug trafficking. So sometimes it's a really stupid thing. Sometimes it's a very common thing that happens. I'm just telling you, we have no idea other than he's in the Huskow right now. That is all we can say. Now, who's going to make the downfall of Clyde video? Oh my God. What's going to happen from here for like Nick's lawsuit? Well, I mean, certainly this is probably going to throw a wrench in the system a little bit, but not too bad. I mean, he's charged with, he's being sued for defamation. Now, I mean, that obviously that's the least of his problems. Could I slow the chat a little bit? Yeah, I didn't. I keep forgetting because I run this off StreamYard only. So hold on, guys. Let me see here. Also, thank you for everybody being here. I appreciate all the everybody hanging out. Let's see, chat. Hold on, where the hell is slow mode? Actually, don't have to worry about this usually. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And there, it should be. I think I clicked it. There we go. Did we talk about Nick already? Yeah, we kind of just did. All right. So guys, there's a bunch of super chats. We gotta start answering these. All right. Unhung Hero for $2 says, I'm gonna come. Nick's facing 10 years, his poor kids. Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's who the real losers are right now. Their mom and dad, I mean, yeah, their mom and dad may not have been doing the best taking care of them, but like getting the police showing up and yanking mom and dad out of the house, likely in cuffs, is not anywhere from 6 to 16. That's rough on any kid. It's rough on any kid. Fair Frozen 55 says Jim's show is gonna be fire. He might as well die midstream of how much he's gonna laugh. Well, yeah, I'm sure it'll be interesting. Guys, Mr. Medicare will be alive Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And don't forget, Matt at the internet tomorrow at noon. Nico for $2 says, hey, Sean, any big news today? Yeah, just little stuff, just little stuff. Stephen Cooper saying late arrested for possession. Yes. Automata says idea for a new segment, Guzzle Watch 2000. Oh yeah. Well, as much as I want to say that, I still, people battling addiction, it's like I said, I want the best for him there. I want him to get better. And besides, Turtle Boy is hogging all the dumb fuck juice right now. He's run up to the Turtle Boy's run up to that fountain spewing dumb fuck juice. He's just going like drinking, he's sucking it straight out of the fountain. Darcy for $20, thank you, is saying, wow, chat. Wild day, yeah. Torgo the White says, copium raid. And happy 6 months, thank you. Sleazy says, we even trash talk about Sean and locals, like how he's a practicing attorney. Yes. Yes. And Skook is saying, let's not forget our principles just because we dislike the guy. The charges are 100% bullshit. They very well could be. They very well could be. I mean, remember, charges are just words on piece. Like, tell my clients all the time. You come in, you slap an indictment on my table. It's like, oh, they charge me with something. I'm like, that's cool. That's words on paper. But I do think I will say, the idea that he isn't using any drugs of any kind, I think is probably far-fetched. But should he have been charged with this? Who knows? I don't think so. Well, we'll see. Amateur Iconoclast says, don't worry, y'all. Nick is from the mean streets of Houston. He'll do fine in jail. Yeah. Yes. Murla says, body cam footage when? Well, body cam footage, charging documents. While we're doing Kieran Reed tomorrow, I'll be working on some of that, okay? I'll see what we can get. Big Happy says, I wonder what we'll talk about tonight. Now, I will say I am going to make fun of Nick for one thing. Here. And it's this. Like, of all the things to wear when you get arrested, like, you're wearing that cringy Jamaica tank top. Like, that's the only thing I'm like, come on, Nick. Like, I can't believe you keep wearing that shirt because it's just awful. But why do we got to wear that? Other than that, it is what it is. So, Amateur Iconoclast gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Janet says, do you think Judge Fisher will preside over Nick's case? Judge Fisher's one of the judges in that county, so possibly, yeah. Talk shit. Judge is not the best idea. Not well advised. Darcy gifted 20 memberships. Holy cow, Darcy. Thank you. I appreciate the support and your generosity. And Iconoclast, you as well. Thank you for your generosity and support. Shri for $9.99 says the kids are only the victims in this. Yeah, I would agree. I agree that the adults have made adult decisions. That doesn't mean don't want things to work out for them. So hopefully those guys can get the help they need finally. And Raging Bull for $20, thank you, is saying, sorry, but I just want to interject. Dang, Nick's essentially got a KD of 8-0, ruined his life, his wife's life, his side chick, and all 5 of his kids. Bravo, Nick. No one in the sector is going to be able to top that. Yeah. Yes, this is a monumental felting. This is the raking of rakings. And yes, overall, Nick has speed ran the disaster tract for online personalities. I'm not going to lie about that. That is what it is. Base Shaman says Rekieta is the Jack Murphy of LawTube. He's done. That's a shame. Is saying it was CPS. Mark my words. I tend to think so. CPS probably got an anonymous complaint, but we'll see. That could have been the issue too. CPS shows up. They've got a police officer with them, and from there, shit cut loose. We just don't know. Pepsi Man says, I wish Rekieta a million rehab jail sentences. Well, yeah. And Economass says, as Barnes always tells us, never in writing, always in cash. Yep. Audrey Silva says he uses Provigil, which is Schedule 4. It might be a stretch charge. It very well could be. I will, like I said, I will just say the way he like got kickstarted in the middle of the stream, that ain't Provigil from what I can tell. But yeah, it very well could be if they charge him for that. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, but he also might not have a prescription for it. That's the other thing. If you don't have a script for it, that's yeah. Nick wasn't on stream. Aaron was. Search breaking April M. Holt, Rekieta, and Kayla arrested. Aaron reveals the truth about April rumors. Oh, you guys are saying Aaron was on stream. Nick wasn't on stream. I got you. I got you now. I got you. Night Goblin King Shig says the Booty Goon's gonna get rackets. I don't think there's so many Booty Goons in Candioi County, but yes, should he be transferred, that could be an issue. Florence Dono is saying, I had not heard dick about old mate Nick since the Depp trial ended. So this is a very, very bizarre jump in time for me. But Law and Uppers mix, I guess. Well, I mean, since the Johnny Depp trial, it's been really weird. So that's all I'm going to say about it for now. Boojalicious 3 is saying, I'm facing similar charges here in Iowa, and it's serious misdemeanor, 6 months or $1,000 fine. The attorney and I agreed to provide info to get my guns back charges dropped. Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but that's when you're playing games where the government can get involved, you need to be very, very careful. Is my only right. I can't encourage you to break the law out there, chat, but if you're going to break the law, you better be able to do that dance without missing a beat. Okay, it's like playing DDR. You can't break your combo streak. You break your combo streak, you get arrested. Michigan Farm Boy saying, could they have found modafinil not in the original container? Would that have this result? Well, no, because if, let's say you found it in a baggie somewhere, but there's a pill bottle sitting next to it saying it's a valid prescription, that's generally not what they're going to hit you for. Like, I doubt that's the case. I really doubt that's the case. It could be. It could be. I've seen bullshit things with drug arrests before, but like I said, I don't know. That's a shame is saying my prior super chat doesn't make sense out of context. I bet someone Aaron called CPS. Okay, yeah, I kind of hypothesized that. The home check, signs of drug use, CPS called cops, warrant. Yeah, or the CPS could have showed up and the house is crazy and everything's going on, and maybe they roll into Dick and April screaming at each other, or they come to the door completely blasted and they look like they're all high and intoxicated. And Children's Service is like, what's going on here? Are you under the like? I've had a million cases like that. Yeah, we just don't know. We just don't know. Jason said, when court papers get filed and released, will it say how the police came involved or notified? Probably not the initial parts. It really depends on how in depth a complaint gets written in that area, because the complaint's just basic information about like what they did. That's it. Sometimes the complaints are like, and it's like half a paragraph or a paragraph. It depends. I just don't know what's available. We'll find out. And I'm sure information will leak out. I mean, it's the internet, dude. And especially considering it's involving a personality in the sector, we're going to get around. Stephen Cooper says, I like Nick, but especially since his hissy at you, I haven't watched more than 3 times. Well, like I said, I wasn't too worried about that. I'm a big kid. I can handle it. I get it. I'm a big guy, but yeah, I survived. Let's go. Brandon says one viewer for each pound that chair is holding. This chair is not holding 2,295 pounds, but I appreciate the sentiment. Darcy is saying it's Minnesota drug court with diversion. Very true. That's more than likely the outcome. The idea of him going away forever, that doesn't happen on your first time through. Not on something like this. If it was something with a mandatory offense or something really heinous, sure, but that ain't gonna happen here. Even if he pled guilty right off the rip, that ain't happening. But I agree with you. Drug court or something diversion. And even if there wasn't diversion and there wasn't drug court, some sort of intense supervision and probation would be the game. You're not going to prison for this stuff. Now, if you fuck up probation or you fuck up diversion, whole nother story. Enrique the Squirrel says it's true he might get 10 years. I mean, worst case scenario. And here's the deal. No attorney can tell you like, oh, it's like a no percent chance. Is it like a 0.1% chance he could go to prison? Yeah, right now. Facts may change. But as of May 23rd, is he going to prison? Like 0.1% chance that could happen. I can't tell you no because I'd be lying because I can't guarantee you that. The Squid says, I honestly hope the firearms possession charge gets dropped. That's the part that got me the most worried about what could happen either way. He did this himself and he could only help himself. Yep, it's up to him. It's up to him to figure this out. Sleazy says it's all Jersh's fault. Yes. Curse you, Moon! Janet Morgan says, this is my Rittenhouse moment. Well, I wish it didn't come like this. I would rather Nick shot a couple of communists, but okay. I mean, as it goes, it goes. Mr. Squiggle says, subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you. Yeah, any and either of those options. Darcy with another 20 memberships. Wow. I mean, you're blowing this out of the water, Darcy, tonight. Thank you. Holy shit. Janet Morgan says, this is my Rittenhouse trial moment. Thank you. You just said that above too. Thank you for posting again. Cope its need. Anime sucks. Cope its need. Did Nick finally get his wishes with these damn kids? As much as he says all that, I assume he loves his children. TNN have been a member for 3 months saying number 37. Does this mean Nick's stream is canceled tonight? Yes, I don't think there's going to be a local stream tonight, chat. Unless he could do like a 3-way. Yes, you have a collect. Okay, I will make a joke tonight. His local stream starts off. You have a call from Nick Rekieta, an inmate at the Candioi County Jail. To accept charges for this call, press 1. Boop. Hi, locals. I don't think that's going to happen tonight, guys. Petty White says, could he be disbarred? No. I mean, yeah, theoretically, that once again, I'm not saying it's impossible, but just get drug charges, that's not enough to get you disbarred. It'll get them some supervision, and they might put, like, say, your license is suspended for a little while, get clean and come back to us, but they're not just going to yank his ticket over this. You got to steal money for that to be an issue. And you really have to work at it to get disbarred. So this alone isn't going to do it. And remember, he's only been charged, so they won't act until he's officially been charged, like convicted of anything, because he's innocent until proven guilty. Jim tells you, says, it's not true. Oh, shit, it's true. It's all true. Yes. Iris Legacy says, wishing Nick a million sober nights. I wish him a million sober nights. And I mean that truly. I wish him success in getting through this. I mean, I could sit here and go like, like, but what's that get you? What's that really get you? Big Happy gifted 20 memberships. Damn. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity and support. Stephen Cooper says, as someone who uses Provigil occasionally, it ain't that fast acting. Yeah. Yeah, that whatever he was on hit him like jet fuel. James says, get that butt. Well, hopefully nobody's spitting in anybody's butts. D. Watt says, Racket's major internet presence. This is probably the most viewers you've ever had. I actually had a couple shows that got higher in the middle of the Darryl Brooks trial. But I got on with Nick, but to act like he's made me, I mean, I feel like I've made what I've made. I mean, I understand what you're getting at there. This is nevertheless, cheers. Go eat butter. I'm not gonna go eat butter. So another super chat to make me not eat butter. How about that? Brandon's a new member. Thank you, Brandon. The Chuki show says the oldest kid could have called happened in other cases. Yes, that's entirely an issue too. But I don't want to. If the kid called, I wouldn't fault the kid for that. I don't like what's in my life. I don't like my parents in the house doing this. That happens, and I would not fault that kid in a million years for that. But who knows what had happened? Brandon says if you don't hit the like button, Sean is going to wake up to a knock at the door with some hidden items at his home. Have fun trying to get in the house. Egalitarian bitch says, don't know if anyone has said anything, but the kids are safe with relatives, according to Steel Toe a minute ago. Yeah, like I said, they would have been immediately placed. Alex Sargent says, I think this might be good for him in the long run. I hope so. I hope so. Stephen Cooper has been gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for support. Johan Noxo says, will they allow his ceiling cat's visitation? Yes. Yeah. Well, they allow Officer Monson as well. Stephen Bunt says, well, does this mean Nick will finally quit drinking? Any chance he's not getting that monitor thing and is free to keep using? Very, very realistic possibility. Candiota County is a rural county. They might not have the resources for that. He might just be released on pretrial release saying, no drugs, no alcohol. You're going to come and test. He could keep drinking. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and say people don't do that. I've had clients, as soon as they get out of jail, busting rails and crank as soon as they get out and chugging, Mad Dog as soon as they're available. Like, I know that's happened. I watched a client get released from jail. I got him out and he walked. I saw him. I was in court taking care of stuff. And as I'm leaving town, I saw him walk out of the fucking liquor store. Like, yeah, it happens. And at that point, you're just like, and just keep fucking driving. You might call him later and tell him to stop, but yeah, it happens. Just saying. Cindy Lou Who says, I hope he doesn't treat this like a joke. I mean, that's his MO. When it comes to people in addiction, if they want to get better, they'll get better. If they don't, they don't. It's true. Getting to prison's like the Pro Bowl. You made a big splash or you grinded for years. This is a little pop. Yeah. Listen, getting pinched for this is, yeah, I get it. For most of us out there, getting pinched for felony drug possession is a big fucking deal. But in reality, and like in the court system, like, yeah, this ain't like that. The judges in Candiota County are like, we got dudes burglary, murder, rape, robbery. Like, this ain't that big a deal, ultimately. Brandon says, so I was thinking we don't have a drinking internet lawyer. We doing White Claws or what? Nah, I'm good right now. So let's get back to what some of you guys are talking about here real quick. Surfy Ducks is busting rails of crank and chugging Mad Dog good times. Well, you get what you get. Okay. So what about the gun charges, Simone? I mean, technically, I would make the argument, regardless, under Bruin, there was no prohibition for using a substance to ban your prohibition to possess an item like that. There may have been town ordinances about not being drunk and possessing your guns, but it would be like as soon as you sober it up, like in Tombstone, the Clanton guys and the McLowrys were drunk. Their guns were taken. They went to go get their guns back when they sobered up, and they had their guns. So, unless they can show right at that moment they were intoxicated, probably, or they're using a time frame. I mean, it all depends on how it's set up. And I mean, I'd still challenge it under Bruin. Larry says, "Isn't this his second?" No, he has no other. He has speeding tickets, but those don't count when you're talking about criminal. Like I said, for us normies out here, yes. When I talk to people, I said, "Does he have any issues in court?" And I have to usually stop people if they're normies. I say, like, they don't have family members who've been around the block. I said, anything lesser than a DUI, I don't care about. Like DUIs, disorderly conducts. Have they ever been arrested for something? And everybody's like, "Oh, no. They just have a million speeding tickets." I'm like, I'm not worried about speeding tickets. Patty says in Ohio, what decides felony versus misdemeanor? It depends the type of drug. Like, cocaine is always a felony. The type of felonies depending on the weight. So, and that's the same thing here. Whatever drug they have, it's a felony right now, but there might be a weight issue or a bulk issue if it's pills, because you don't weigh pills you do it by bulk, and that's by the actual dosages. So who knows? Like if it's a little bit of booger sugar, fine, but you got like a whole bag of it, that's not good. A little bit of meth isn't a big deal. 50 grams of it, which you guys might not think is a lot, that's a shitload. That's a big deal. It all depends. It all depends. What drug was it? We don't know for sure. Something schedule 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like I said, based on the way he was acting and, the way he appeared, some sort of restricted stimulant. Cocaine, amphetamine, I don't know. Like, I don't think he was eating Pervitin pills and crushing them up, but I think he was definitely he was doing some performance enhancing drugs. The dude says getting pinched ain't the big thing. It's getting his family back together after this. Yeah, yeah. Very true. Very true. Anubis Ash says they'll probably plead this down to misdemeanor. I hope so. It's a possibility. Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, drugs and guns are not a good look, and the prosecutor might have a big position on that stuff. Time will tell. Time will tell. Recreational talcum powders. Oof, that'd be rough. Jay Bet says schedule 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah. The way his charges are, it says possessing drugs schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3, schedule 4. If you have any one of those in your possession, it's a felony in the 5th degree. The thing is, when you're getting booked in, that's all under like computer coding. So they're type in, what did he violate? Oh, he had a 152.025 or whatever they call it there. Okay, so somebody's typing in, they click, oh, drug possession, boop, boop, done. So they didn't actually type in schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3, schedule 4. That's just a computer population. So who knows? Todd says his family's beyond repair. Oh, buddy. There are some fucked up families out there that I've seen get back together. Trust me, this ain't. If you could go into a juvenile court, you would see some real train wreck families. This is far from the worst. Will this influence his lawsuit? I mean, it might encourage him to settle if he's got other things going on. I mean, certainly a lot of this would be possibly admissible. There's a relevancy issue. But yeah, this certainly isn't going to help him. Now he's got like an actual like mountain of shit bearing down on him from his criminal case. Whereas like, the civil suit's like a little sandcastle made out of turds versus like Mount Olympus bearing down on him. So yeah, it might encourage him to settle. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? We don't actually know yet. This may help his family. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Now, the other thing is, I'll point out when you get to these children's services cases, guys, when I've represented people, because I take these on appointment, because I think people are entitled to the best defense possible. Because, yeah, the county a lot of times wrongly takes children and they can't afford attorneys anyway. So I take those cases and I get paid the court appointed, whatever it is for that county. I explain to these parents, like, you're looking at, unless we prove it's all bullshit, you don't get your kids back right away. If you do have a problem, you're looking at a minimum of like 12 months before your kids are back in the home and children's services is fucked off. And that's on the short end. 12 to 18 months is like the trajectory of that. So that's the trajectory they should be looking at right now. So he's playing 4D chess. Well, you're not supposed to eat the pieces when you're doing it. Okay, if everybody is here new, that thing you hear is not an animal dying. That is a dog howling for uh, future Mrs. Martin 2.0 because she's not here right now. Hold on one second. Who am I kidding? She ain't gonna come in here. She ain't gonna come in here. So Trump's gonna pardon Snowden and Nick. Okay, that'd be funny. Getting back to some of these other guys' comments here. If you guys have other questions, I'll be happy to answer them right now. Imagine being homeschooled your entire life and watching your mom and dad get dragged out in handcuffs. Heartbreaking. Yeah, it would be. I can't imagine how that would feel being a kid, seeing my mom and dad get drug out in handcuffs. Now, hopefully, the police are like, "Come outside. We're not going to cuff you in front of your kids," but like, the kids probably, at least the older ones, still know what was happening. Common Lawyer says at my last job, working 2 to 3 in the morning, Rekieta is my go-to. Followed him for all of Rittenhouse. If this goes far, irony if there's a Rekieta trial stream. Well, I mean, if there is, we'll cover it and we'll talk about it. I mean, certainly we'll do updates as this thing progresses. Uh, this is like the 9. This is YouTube's 9. This is LawTube's 9/11 chat. I'll coin that now. YouTube's 9/11. Nico says, I hope Nick can finally find the time to get his ugly snake tattoo finished while in jail. Okay, well, yes, they are very good at that in jail. CNET Arbuckle says Nick understands human interactions, unlike Null. Well, that'll be good because he can talk about interactions in jail with the guys in jail. Vince is saying, is there a link to the video? There are links. If you go on the farms, you can find the links there, but there's no, I think Nick pretty much nuked all the links available. I think his BitChute might still be up because he still posts to there. Brandon says it's tough waking up every day with the used Baldo around your bedroom doorknob every day. Not a good gag. Kid's probably narked. Well, yeah. Stephen Cooper says don't move chess pieces. Very true. Catherine Martinez. That's all. Sorry, I butchered that. Sorry, Catherine. Sake for $9.99 super sticker. Thank you. It's not showing up. Oh, I see what it is. Thank you. J Rock says Nick saw that Medicare was streaming and self-sacrificed for the content. Well, I mean, that's one way, like, taking care of yourself to make sure the spice goes back and return it to the tribe. The precious fluids just. Nick till the police is the law pope. I don't know. Michael Brown says he'll clean up if he streams. Hopefully he does, but that doesn't mean he will. Kazuhira Miller is saying, so I got arrested the other day. How weird and funny. Nick probably. Yeah. Automatus is super sticker. Nick did it for the super chats. Yeah, now we can come out and talk about it. Yes. Janet Morgan saying, Sean, your turn with the Sanicho medallion. Well, I think my foundations in Christianity and my belief in the words of the Nicene Creed will suffice to clad me in armor. I'll pass on the Sanicho medallion. So Sunshine says, will the jails help with his inevitable booze withdrawals? That's an issue I don't know the answer to because we don't know what Nick is at. Like, I get it. Everybody thinks Nick's got the DTs. He's going to be going through severe alcohol withdrawal, to have delirium tremens and all that. And yes, if you are truly addicted to alcohol, stopping all of a sudden can literally kill you. Unlike a lot of drugs, like you don't stop, you stop taking heroin. Yeah, it's not pleasant. You stop taking alcohol, that's it. Like, you can die. Heart attack, everything. Certainly, hopefully, that's something they kind of had an idea about. Now, Nick doesn't tell him, hey, I'm an alcoholic, or hey, I drink a lot. And I know Nick's going to say, oh, I'm fine. But it's like, dude, you're drinking a lot. Yeah, if they don't know, but they're going to try to observe him. Hopefully, nothing happens to him. And I'm hoping his alcohol issues aren't that bad where he just like keels over if he doesn't get any booze in him for a little bit. But that could very well happen. So it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. Would I defend him? I mean, I don't know. Like, if I was a Minnesota licensed attorney, yeah. I mean, is money green? I'd do it. And I fear he will cope and see this rather than be honest. I don't know when Nick can be honest, sadly. I mean, it's like I said, guys, when people are in addiction, and a lot of you probably know this because you've had family and friends and maybe yourself dealing with it, until you're ready to fix it, it's not going to get fixed. And, as of last night, Nick wasn't ready to fix it. So it's up to him. As a wise man once told me, a man does what a man wants to do. A man does what a man wants to do. And it's up to Nick to decide what he wants to do. Yeah. Booga Sugar, Nose Candy, Yayo. Like I said, I'm still always a fan of riding the White Stallion. Will Rekieta loses Popeship? I mean, well, it's maybe I don't know. The medallion got him. Well, like I said, I've said it before. Everything, Nick is everything that's happened to Nick is because of something Nick did. And that's the case for most of us in life. Anything that happens to you, it's usually because of something you've done. That pretty much goes for all of us. We are pretty much all anytime a person has a demise, a lot of times it's self-inflicted and it's self-constructed. They're the architect of their own demise. You know, pick a person. Myself, when I've raked or gotten felted in life, I'm the architect of my own demise. I'm the reason why it went bad. So it's that's not necessarily a unique thing there. Alex Stein said Nick needed an intervention 24 hours ago. Coincidence? Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't think it was that. I think that if I had to put money on what happened, I bet it was some sort of children's services issue got called. I have other theories, like a second place and a third place theory, but based on what they have not been charged with, I don't think those will pan out. You're praying for his cellmate to hear his stand up. Yeah. You think he got in the police car and said, "Hey, when's the last time you've been to Denny's?" I wonder if that's happened. We'll see. This Art says, "Why would I hang up on Nick's one phone call?" I'd take his call. I don't know if I'd take all the charges on it. Who was the other woman that was arrested? Oh, LC. April Imholt was the other half of a YouTube production called Steel Toe Morning Show, currently run by her husband. There's an entire set of lore that's gone on in the past 3 months. But basically, it sounds like April's been hanging out with the Rekietas, doing drugs and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'll leave it at that. There's still a full full video of a stream up from the YouTube channel called All Cap. Oh, yes. Does this make Nick a jailhouse lawyer? Okay. You are very funny, Deanna. You're a very funny guy.
You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
I promise to kill you last, Deanna. That is fucking hilarious, though. That is hilarious. Jeep Guy says, "Can't you bond out the first day?" If they have a bond, they might not have a bond till they see the judge. It all depends on what happened. I mean, right now it looks like they have no bonds. Switching over to here, it looks like they don't have bond. Yeah, bond amounts with conditions, none yet. So I don't know. Maybe bond has been posted and they bonded out. Let's take a look. The night could always change. And somebody I saw over on Kino Casino brought this up right before I came on. Yeah, there's a guy here with a drug possession charge, who's pending, and he got arrested at 2:40 today. Yeah, this could be a guy involved with him. Who knows? We don't really know shit at this point. Yeah, Kayla and them don't have a bond amount yet. So, and actually, this is actually a great thing. Christina Riley, I think that's how you pronounce it. She's second degree possession, 25 grams or more. So look at her conditions. $200,000, chat. 200 G's. But she's also been charged with assault on a correctional employee. And she has set, trafficking. So it doesn't take much with drug weight to cause problems. We don't know what their total weight issues are yet. And that's the other thing with drug charges. They very likely could be, depending on, hold on once, very likely what's going on. They might get arrested, cut loose, and then they're gonna we'll dismiss the charges at the arraignment. And then the drugs get sent out for testing. Because remember, you could sit there and test a pile of drugs and get a basic result. Okay, I believe this to be cocaine. I believe this to be meth. What they do is they take those drugs and ship them off to a lab to get tested. And I don't know, I doubt Ojai County has its own drug lab or crime lab. Most counties can't afford that, even in places like here in Ohio. Most places send them out to the state crime lab. They get tested, the results come back. That's 6 to 12 months down the road. So Nick might, his charges might all get all dismissed and they sort it all out and go, boom, later indicted or charged. The fact they picked him up on all this, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see. We'll see. I forgot to mention that earlier. Can he bond out the first day? I mean, if bond's set, but he might not, the way might not be a bondable offense right now. Doesn't look like it. And I'll say this because that's as of, it's still 1949. Really? They don't update? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not helpful for us now. Shauna's getting cocky. This thing ruins all. No, I'm not going to touch it. Unbreaded from the prison yard. Yeah. Serious question if it gets seen. Nick could represent himself, but probably not Kayla and or April in this matter. 100% correct. He could not represent himself and another party. That would be a mess upon messes. But especially if there's co-defendants, there's always the possibility of brutal issues where there's confrontation clause problems if parties start pointing the fingers at each other. It's his drugs. No, it's his drugs. Well, you start going like that, you have confrontation clause problems. So not only being tried together, like if they went to trial, but representation-wise, yeah, Nick can't represent anybody but himself. Where's 2.0? 2.0 is out enjoying extracurricular activities. Super chat me for bail. Yeah. Oh. Don't cross streams. That's always a good idea. Is the phone number of the jail showers? I don't know. I don't know, chat. So, Unhung Hero says drug and gun charges. Nick is blacker than Drex. And Janet Morgan says, I can't wait for the Nick and Larry Lawton collab. You know what? I will say Larry Lawton is one of those guys. He runs a channel. He went to federal prison for jewel thieving. He did jewel heist and whatnot. I would love to talk to that guy. He's pretty cool because he talks about all the experiences in federal prison. He did a lot of time. And he talks about it. I mean, he points out doing what he did ain't the way to go through life. But he'll tell you about it. Anyone in Minnesota in the market for a lightly used Mustang GT 500? Yes, only one crash that we know of. But to be fair, it was in a ditch in the snow, so it probably wasn't too bad. Jay Wolfenstein says, what the fuck? I step away from LawTube for a couple months and come back to this. Lissai. Do you think he chanted touchdown on paper? Unbreaded. Yeah, do you think he chanted that as he's getting arrested? I don't know. Alex Sargent says, God, he looks so annoyed his mugshot. This is so breaded. Well, I mean, he's not going to be thrilled. I mean, nobody, unless you're high out of your mind and off your gourd, no one's ever been arrested where they're like, this is actually a fun thing. Nobody ever is happy to be arrested. And nobody is ever arrested at a good time, is what I'll say. That's always been my experience with clients. I try to warn people that you never get arrested when it's a good time. And, obviously nobody's ever happy to be arrested. I always make that argument to the, prosecutor when they're like, well, your client resisted arrest. And I'm like, yeah, I resist arrest. No, but everybody resists arrest. Nobody's happy to get arrested. Could they make him stay in jail and wait until Tuesday to see bail for a judge? Yeah, but you do have constitutional rights to be in front of a judge as soon as possible, within a amount of time. But I would argue they probably have time tomorrow. I mean, yeah, I get it. They're county workers. It's government workers. It's a nice fucking weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. We're all hitting out early. But no, I think there's going to be some stuff tomorrow. I would see. Yeah. Pigletine says, I've been released on a Saturday. Yeah. And that's the thing. The court might start releasing people on its own if they get a hold of, if Nick and Kayla or April get an attorney. That attorney might be able to speak with the judge. I mean, there are attorneys who have that kind of like, I got a judge's cell phone number. I can call that judge up on the weekend. Hey, Judge Bob. Hey, look, it's Sean Martin. Hey, look, I got a guy in custody. Yeah, here's what yep. And he's like, okay, hey, what's wrong with him, Sean? Yeah, you know what? I'll sign off $1,500 bond to get him out. That can happen. There's all million ways they can get out. We'll see. I wonder if there's a search warrant. Remember, there are exceptions to the search warrant: exigent circumstances, plain view, all kinds of things. Consent? A million different ways they could have got into that house or somebody. Krusty Moko says, who's looking after the kiddos? That would be family members of somebody, probably Kayla's family, because I guess they live really close by. Richard says the judge is at the lake, no phone. Yeah, well, there are magistrates. There's always somebody available because the police always have search warrants, so someone's always available to look at. Mario Carter 13 says Nick needs an intervention. The police are like, we got you, fam. It's like, yeah, but I don't think it happened that way. I don't think it happened that way. Rekieta should hire Schneider. No, but it'd be funny if he got Bruce Rivers, the criminal lawyer, because, Bruce is out of St. Paul. Grassroots Hegemon says, I just bought Nick's house at a police auction for $12 and a McChicken. Get good. Well, I don't think we're in a situation where they'll try to take off his house and confiscate it as a instrumentality of the crime. That's not something that's likely to happen. Squizgar says, could they say no streaming is a condition? Well, they could, but that's a First Amendment issue, number one. I mean, I bring this up multiple ways. I'd argue it's a First Amendment problem. Number two, the issues aren't him streaming. It's him using, like, the allegations are he's using drugs and alcohol and he's got guns in the house. Well, if he's not on stream and he's using drugs or alcohol, what is saying stopping streaming's only what, 2 or 3 hours a day? You've got 20 some other hours where things are going on. So I would argue that's not even necessary, but I would argue first and foremost it's a First Amendment violation, and that's silencing his speech. If he's smart, he would take some time off, but that's a separate matter. Oh, hold on, guys, 1 second. Lainey, come here, Lainey. I don't know if you're gonna bark. And oh, and I know you guys are. Nick is gonna call Bruce Rivers. That, like I said, that'd be a hilarious crossover. You guys want to see Clyde real quick? Lot of talk with Mike. Hey, how you doing, man? Saying I still can't believe this. I know. I'm mowing the lawn and I get finished and I'm taking a break and I open up the farms and it's like the farms jumped like 30 pages in the hour and a half I was gone, and I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden you're like, why did this take so long? You're like, how did it go? Oh my God. Yeah, it's not good. I don't want to see it. I don't. You know, it's not something you want to see. It's not something I expected to see when I woke up this morning. I really didn't. I really, really didn't. Todd Butchine says, Sean, you have a problem. Get help. With being cringe, I get that. I know, but it's terminal. I can't fix it. With being a boomer and sucking at doing all this, I mean, like, that's like telling a fish to quit swimming in the ocean. It just doesn't work like that. Did I name the dog Clyde after Rittenhouse? No. Clyde was named that. Whoever had his previous owners had named him Clyde. He is a dog from the Animal Protective League. So whoever named it Clyde, don't know. All I can say is, I guess in hindsight, thank you for taking him to the APL when you did, because I'm glad I found him when we did. And right now, guys, he is covered in green grass residue. So you guys probably can't see him with the green and brown. He probably looks camouflaged. Alex Sargent says Nick's facing more time than Chile, or going to get more time than Chile. Yeah, I don't know. Chile might serve more time in jail than Nick will. We'll see. Excellent says, what substance from the George Floyd autopsy did Rekieta Floyd get caught with? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. We'll find out. We'll find out at some point, because that'll all get available. Sean is a Kiwi confirmed? Oh, for a while that's been known. I'm not going to tell you my screen name, though. I will tell you, just because I feel bad because people keep thinking it's me, I am not anonymous. I have a fried chicken problem. I have a, yes. I am not allergic. I'm allergic to a lot of things, like allergy-wise, just not food. Yes. I use a riding lawnmower in my 15 acres. No, I get my steps in. Thank you. Shirax says, how big is your lawn? It's not big. It just, there's so many things I have to mow around and things. Like, it's not easy to be quick. And then I have to go do weed whacking. And you in the South call it using a trimmer or a weed whipper. You know, I do the weed whacking, and you got to do that and clean it all up. And that's what takes a while. And then you have to mow around the fence, and then you got to weed whack along the fence. And yeah, that's more of the time than anything. The farm's in overdrive right now. Oh my God, I don't even want to know what it's up to right now. What page are we up to now? My God, things like a fucking rocket ship. Holy jeez. I'm 100 pages behind now. Oh my gosh. Taking off faster than an anti-satellite missile. I should get the body cam footage. I mean, I will get all the footage. I will get whatever's available. And if you guys happen to go out and get to it right away too, great. You know, I'll look up and grab things what I can and what I'm doing. But remember, I also like worried about actual cases where I got to review body cam footage and stuff. So if you guys happen to get a hold of things, send it to me down below, potentiallycriminal@gmail.com. I'll take a look. Nick says, glad I dropped Nick a year and a half ago. Well, yeah. I mean, if you feel that way, I'm happy you feel vindicated. Let's see here. Where are you guys at? Nick has a black eye in his mugshot. Was he beating his wife? Well, no. I mean, Kayla looks fine, and Nick looks like he got hit. But who knows if he got punched in the face? He might have pulled a William Holden and got drunk and hit a table. I mean, if you guys know William Holden, you got the joke. I mean, that could easily happen too. Who knows? Could be like me the one time where, well, I'm not going to say. So one time, like, I got a black eye, and what was I doing? I had my bow, and I had it back, and I had it on the release, but the release loop was a little frayed, and I cut it just right, and I'm like this, and it just whap right in my face. And as I was yanking back, it came back, and I gave myself a black eye. So, yeah. You know, who knows what he did? Who knows what he did? These are load-bearing walls. Oh. Nick could have fallen down the stairs, yes. He ran into a doorknob. Marky Mark says you've never had so many super chats. I've actually had a day or two that was pretty big, but I understand your sentiment. How does it feel kicking on your friend while he's on the floor? I mean, this has happened. It's an event, and I still think he should, and I hope he does get better. But the idea I'm going to treat this like it's, like Kennedy getting Kennedy's funeral procession, like need a little bit of levity here, Holmes. Okay. I still want best for him. I still wish him the best. Multiple times I've reached out to him and asked him he's okay. Does he need help? Things like that. I didn't come out here running out here the first day all this happened afterwards, running a stream about it. But part of what I do is also making a little bit of jokes here and there, a little bit of light of things. I just during my day to day while I'm out here practicing too. So, if you want to feel that way, you can feel that way. I mean, I guess I could say, yes. I mean, here, let me try it for you, Marky. The Rekieta family is stainless. My baby didn't do nothing wrong. Is that what you're looking for here? Because you're not going to get that. You're going to get what the reality on the ground is and what things are looking like. Falwa says, could they lose their kids over this? I mean, ultimately, now we're getting into like stuff that's, like I said, guys, the trajectory and the children's services being involved is like 12 months plus. I don't know the standard in Minnesota, but in Ohio, it's like after 12 out of 22 months, the state can then try to seek permanency issues if there's no progress. But the 22 months is the deadline. So, I mean, yeah, theoretically, in a dependency action, permanent custody, legal custody, those are always realities. But ultimately, the goal for children's services, and I know people are going to disagree because they're like, the county steals kids. Fair enough. Is reunification. That's always the goal. That's the case plan. The moment those children are taken from a home, the case plan is always about reunification. Very much like if you left your house in the middle of an emergency. Ultimately, where are you going? You're going home because it's going to be, I tend to come back home. You had to evacuate because of like an earthquake or something happened in your town where everybody had to leave. The goal is to come back home at the end of the day. So I'm not even going to I don't want to entertain that thought because that's so far down the road. And just, no, I have faith that, Nick and Kayla get their shit together. Whatever it is, whatever their problems are, get fixed. So Jim says, what kind of bow do I have? I have a PSE Stinger. And it's about 10 years old, but I just shoot recreationally at targets. So I could get some like really good Hoyt, like carbon fibered, fucking featherweight thing, but I enjoy shooting what I have. You got a Diamond. Diamond's not a bad brand. B Husker says, what is this medallion everybody's going on about? You don't need to know. You're better off. You're better off. You're better off not knowing. Well, Nick Kreutzer says, yo, I heard Williams Holden was around, who I talked to. Okay, yes, God. Yes, when it comes to drug, there's William Holden, like you holding out on me. But William Holden, the famous actor, he got drunk and hit his head on the corner of a table and bled out. So, Jeremiah Maddox would say, the old Nick would want his friends to grift off this, take that money. Well, yeah, I mean, like when Marky Mark is like, just click super chats off. I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to do? That ain't fucking happening, Chief. The amulet was, yes, the Sinichu amulet was cursed and sent by an A-log. He could have taken that as the hint to start pulling up. But he was like, fuck it, we ball. And dive bomb faster than that Iranian helicopter. Yeah, well, yeah. Nick dive bomb faster than the fucking... than Bomber Squadron 6 seeking out the Akagi. Nick could have a great comeback story if he wanted to. Oh, yeah. You know, there's always... Well, you know, I mean... history and life is full of comeback stories, and as a people, we enjoy redemption. We truly like seeing redemption in people. We like seeing people turning it around. But remember, who knows exactly how bad it is, so it might not be like that massive of a comeback or a turnaround. But whatever it is, we like to see people get better. We want to see people get better. I mean, there's very few people I don't want to see things work out for them. I mean, Nick is not one of the people that I wish nothing good to happen to. There are handfuls of people on that list. Everybody else, I hope everybody else does great in life. I wish them nothing but the best. And Nick is on that list too. All of you out there are on that list. Unless you're like a commie, then I hope you get what's coming to you. And I truly mean that. Isaac Baruch's wholesome gabagool art says, "My God. My God. The corn grows the fastest in the Minnesota spring." Yes, it's yes, it does. Holy shit, yeah. Must be that that cocaine infused ammonia they use out there. Just pumping it right in the ground, chat. Or crop dusting with all that cocaine based ammonia. Ammonia salts, just MLS got a lot. David, how you doing, man? Says, Sean, can you say happy birthday to Young? Yes, I think we talked about this earlier this week. Young, happy birthday. And if you guys are around for the Karen Reed stream tomorrow, I'll say it again. Happy birthday. Krusty Moko says, the spice must flow. Here's some. Thank you. Oh. Did you know about the whole April mess? Yeah. Oh, child. I've been following along from the beginning. Yep. I've been on the farms forever. So yeah. I've been following along. Just, people make their, like I said, a man does what a man wants to do and adults make adult decisions. So I don't run a drama channel or a gossip channel. So it's not for me to really comment on all that stuff like that on a really consistent basis. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, damn it, Sean. I know you know, Sean. Tell me, Sean. I remember that comment. Yes, like it was yesterday. Patty says Israel killed JFK. That's not an unreal possibility. USS Liberty, Google it. What? Huh? What was that? Grassroots Hegemon says, be nice to commies. They're really good at unaliving other commies. Yes. That's the thing. Like, if communism ever took over, I would do my best to become the best, leader of the communists and just kill all the other communists. That would be my goal. That'd be so... it's like playing hearts. You get all the hearts and shoot the moon and give everybody else the points. This man knows the law. Yes, I do. Yes. It's like, oh, you know the law. I was raised by it. I made the law. It's like people talk about being on the, you run into somebody younger and they talk about the internet. It's like, dude, I was around when the law was made for a lot of things. I've seen shit. William Smith says 3 things I love about Sean. The Stormy, the glug chug, guzzle, guzzle, guzzle. Yep. This cup of dumb fuck juice. And his reaction when someone mic drops during a trial. Oh, thank you. Egalitarian bitch says, can you share your theory now? Which theory? Oh, my theory about Mandy? Nope, I'm still keeping that one close to the vest. That is not played out yet. It is not played out yet. Dave saying potential an over and under on April pulling a Me Too. None. And even if she did, like, are you gonna believe her? I ain't gonna believe her. She was an active participant. Do you think this is because they found footage of the Reketas and the Diddy raid tapes? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they saw the monstrosity of the Baldo on there, and they sent it like a CIA fusion center, and they're like, DIA has examined this, and we still don't know what it is. They're like, oh my god, is it Jason Bourne? Yes, I've made some of the lore. Yes. Yes. Lisa Faltersack says, where do we go for the lore? Kiwi Farms. You don't have to be a member to view things, but you can go on there. If there's a search bar at the top, you could type in Nick Rekieta. It should take you to the Nick Rekieta page is one of the link options, and you can go from there. If one of the mods wants to put the Nick Rekieta Kiwi Farms link in, you can, by all means. He says, this is what happens when people don't put fries on their salads. Maybe. I mean, even though I am a professional fat guy, I don't. Putting fries on salad just no. You got to eat fries independently or salads independently. Like, I still enjoy a good salad, but it's fries on salad to be a texture issue. Yes, I fought the lore and the lore won. Yeah. Oh. I feel like myself and the fat electrician would get along while raging about commies. Yeah, I think so. He seems like a pretty funny guy. You guys, there's so much here. Trying to catch up, guys. Mandy called CPS. No, Mandy has nothing to do with this, okay? It's not that interconnected. If, like, no. Be fucking hilarious, but that ain't happening. Nicholas Chrysler says, you remember the game and how you lost it. Oh. We talked about this on Locals, guys. I have my own theories about the whole Mandy situation. They haven't panned out yet, but once we learn there's the Mandy, the true enemy is not revealed her presence. Mandy, who knows if it ever gets revealed. If it doesn't get revealed, I'll never tell. Once we learn more about the Mandy saga, I'll probably be able to tell you guys about what I thought, and I'll be able to confirm it. I've told a select number of people who can say, yes, I correctly called this. But we'll see. We'll wait till then. Just remember, turn off your camera when the stream is done. Pro tip. Well, when you guys are always worried about me, like, accidentally dozing during streamer and trial, like, I told you guys, it's not. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, hold on, real quick, 1 second. I think 2.0 just texted me. Okay. Let's see here. It's like hearts, but backwards. Oh, she was asking what's shooting the moon mean? Okay. So in the game Hearts, you have to collect all the hearts and you don't want the spades. If in Hearts I collect all the spades, like, you can do this as a strategy and you get all the spades, it's called shooting the moon. And instead of you getting the points, everybody else gets ass blasted with points. It's actually a fun strategy because if people aren't paying attention or don't know about that, they're like, what? And then, yeah, you can always screw somebody once doing that. But it's an actual thing. It's an actual thing. Little Dog Chaz says, I applaud you for covering this with class. Well, some level of class. I appreciate. So was April the living girlfriend of Nick and his wife? Did he tell her to move out recently? I know they were together, but we don't know the whole dynamics of everything as of this moment. Sleazy says, mod me. Do you think I just like wrench people who, because you scream about it? Yeah. How many Soros prosecutors are in Ohio? Too many. Too many. There are no mods here. Why are people posting porn or what? Cringe Peller says Rekieta's out of jail. He's posting on Instagram. Well, let's see. I mean, is it showing him up there still? Hold on. Are you joking? Instagram. Insta. Let's see what we got. Search. Nick Rekieta. Post. Let's see. I mean, I don't see anything new. Yeah, I don't funny, but I don't see anything. Has he tweeted? I don't see anything otherwise. Dipping fries in the Frosty. Okay, that's always acceptable. That is always acceptable. Jim called CPS. Yeah. Medicare. Yes. My name is Jay Medicare. I like to file a complaint. So we'll see about all this. Yes. Damn it, Nick. We lost the case again. Multiple ways. Jack Posobiec just tweeted about Rekieta. Fuck. That's the one thing I have not liked about this. I've gotten them. I don't mind people asking me, but the amount of I will say this much, since I've been doing this, I've had the fortunate opportunity to meet people who run channels and are social media people who have 100,000, 200,000 subscribers and followers. I know a person or two that I talk with on a semi-frequent basis that has over 1 million subscribers and followers. And it's those people. Lainey, come here. Quit howling. You're okay. And those people are like, dude, what's going on? I'm like, I'll explain it the best I can. They're like, well, you're his bro. And I'm like, that's the part where it's a little yeah, I'm kind of tied to this, I guess, for forever. So, yeah. Yeah. Because now I'll be like, yeah, I'm a lawyer on YouTube. Like, hey, do you know Nick Rekieta? I'll have to be like, yeah. So, I collect all the spades like he's county jail. Well, I'd play euchre in jail if I was going to do that. Unless that's a joke about black men. Yeah. Har, har, har. Jonathan saying, I can't believe he sold drugs. That's not true. He's only accused of possessing, not trafficking or selling. Whist is the jail game. Well, it depends where you're at. I mean, it's my understanding out this way, people play spades and euchre. Let's see. All right, guys. Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, there's cribbage. They also play cribbage in jail. Yeah, sometimes. April's husband said Nick is the dealer. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Aaron's got. I mean, here's the thing. I feel bad. Like I said, when Aaron found out I was getting divorced, I feel bad for him. Having to deal with all this, going through all of it. But I don't know if that's true. I mean, Aaron's saying that, but that doesn't mean it's true. Nick doesn't strike me as a drug dealer. I mean, like, normally drug dealers are people who can be somewhat intimidating, imposing, and possibly prone to violence when the moment strikes or is necessary. I mean, like, I had the feeling I could go buy drugs from Nick and not pay him, and what's he gonna do? Come to my house? Like, flail against the door? Like, what? Like, I don't see Nick being a drug dealer. I think he'd be a very shitty drug dealer. Like, really fucking awful as a drug dealer. I'm just saying. Diana saying, actually, Sobiek just posted prayers for Nick, nothing else. That's good. I'm glad. Greg Warner says Sean didn't sell them, he planted them. The demon rat saying, please provide timestamp for what? Michael says spades and pinochle is what I played in jail. I've never learned to play pinochle. I always thought that was like a boomer, like old timey thing. Like the ladies used to babysit us all the time, and she like chain smoked like Winston's. Like they played pinochle. I thought it was like an old people game. Okay, Adam says, all right, let's have a 3-way call. You, Joe, and Legal Mindset. Yeah. Falcon Hoof says 23 grams is a concern in supplying. I don't think you realize 23 grams is a lot of, like 23 grams of coke. Okay, not too much. 23 grams of meth is a lot of meth. 23 grams of fentanyl, that's a lot of fentanyl. I mean, it all depends on what exactly it is. 23 grams of like marijuana, not a lot of marijuana. It really all depends. And Corey said Trump added $8 trillion to the national debt. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. What do I think about the Ohio Democrat ballot debacle? Well, I mean, I thought nobody's above the law, and everybody banging the drum about, well, most states have the right to do this, are now saying, well, this isn't fair. It's like, yeah. Do I think I don't understand why the Ohio did this? But they've got a far more attentive leg to stand on than the state of Colorado. Like, this is a law that's been in place for years, and now they're saying, like, it's a law that affects everybody equally. And it's a qualification requirement of, like, did you file your papers on time? States are allowed to have a deadline. I mean, Ohio's not going to back down. Like, the Secretary of State is a pretty base dude. I've met him before. He's a pretty cool guy. He's not going to back down. They're going to have to go to the Supreme Court to force this issue. Medicare said tomorrow's stream is going to be double length. Yeah. 1,400 people still here, guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very much. You guys do, please like, if you guys want to subscribe, I appreciate the subscribe as well. And if we get more information tomorrow, we'll probably go tomorrow afternoon after Karen Reed's done and get some more information. Nico's saying, I think he meant he's a supplier and enabler, not that he's pushing. I would agree with that. Yes, he's probably getting them and giving them to her. Yes, but the idea that Nick is like fucking Nino Brown, the Nino Brown of Spicer, Minnesota. Man, he get fucking rolled in a heartbeat. Hell, if I lived near him and I knew he's selling drugs, I'd be a stick-up boy and come to his house and take his shit. Rick is saying a gram of weed is a lesser charge than a gram of coke or meth is what I'm saying. Yes, but I'm trying to say, like, if you had 20 grams of weed, that's really not a lot of weed in the scope of things. 20 grams of meth is a shitload of meth for, like, you to possess. That scales up the level of felony very fast. 23 grams of coke, really, it's a big deal, but it's not like you might be facing mandatory jail time, is what I'm trying to say. Rekieta is now trending on social media. Nick has already been trending on Twitter more than once. Nick's statute excludes weed. I understand, sellers, but somebody was asking like how much the other lady, 25 grams of drugs, is that a big deal? It's like, well, depending on the drug, it's a big fucking deal. You have Kino Casino and me pulled up at the same time. Let's see here. Where are you guys? He jerked off live. No, he did not. I will say this much in his defense. While Nick was going through all of that, he was trying to make fun of Darkside Phil because Darkside Phil is famous for actually whacking it with his camera on in the back, like in him in the background, beating one out, and then like, oh, is the camera on the whole time? And that's part of the lore of Darkside Phil. I'm not, this is not even me nose guarding. This is me being 100% honest. Nick and his drug-addled, Jack will be talking about Nick too. Well, if you guys tell Jack, I'd be happy to come on and talk to him if they want, if they have questions about the charges or whatever later. In his drug-induced and alcohol, wet-brained, crack-addled mind, was just bouncing around from topic to topic to topic. I mean, you guys could tell he was like fucking sloppy ass drunk. Whatever was upper was has burned off. And like I said, I've been around enough clients. You could tell when the uppers are working and not working. I've been in court before with clients who are high as fuck, and you could tell when things are kicking off. He's like bouncing from subject to subject to subject. Started talking about Darkside Phil, went around to some other things, and then in his mind, and it's like when people are telling a story and they jump all over the place and they jump back to the original story. They know what they're talking about. So he immediately starts going into the whole like whacking it thing. Yeah, that's where I think he was trying to go. Now, the whole thing with like Worski and PPP saying like you can hear the belt unbuckling, that's very compelling. I just find it hard to believe it's like 10 seconds of whacking it. And that's it. I kind of find trouble with that. That's all it takes. So that's my yeah. He was having a merch horse stroke. Yeah. Stop sniffing. You're making me nervous. See, if I stop sniffing, that would be the bigger deal. The fact I can go, that's a good sign. That's a clear nasal cavity. Whacking, he was getting head. Yes, he was getting head, but he was trying to fake Darkside Phil beating off. That's where I think he was trying to go, but he did such a shitty job because he was so drunk and high. So, I sniff like I need booger sugar. Well, I'm not saying it. It's a great way to lose weight. Start snorting. I'll pass. I understand he said he was blackout and doesn't remember it. I understand, but I, using my powers of deduction and my problem solving skills, kind of had an idea. Then why did he say, why is my camera still on, as if he was surprised? Because that's what Darkside Phil said. When Darkside Phil, you can Google Darkside Phil masturbating. He does his thing, and Darkside Phil's like, well, what was the camera on? And he's like, oh, and then he just goes on to stream. That's the meme. And the problem is when you're a drunk and you're high all the time, and then just really fucking suck at making jokes, all on top of it, which kind of fuels it all each other, it sucks as a joke. So you can hear slurping. I know you can hear slurping, but the whacking was like he was trying to Darkside Phil. Like, I remember, you're dealing with some people who are likely heavily using and heavily like drunk and high at that moment. What they're doing doesn't make 100% sense. So, Lainey, come here. Quit crying. She's almost home. Let's all have a moment of prayer for Alyssa tonight. She's got a lot of work to do. Yes, me, the casino, and mindset. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I put Nick Rekieta arrested as the main headline because that's all we're getting to tonight, chat. Is there a police report? Sure, we don't have one yet. How do we know about the desk? We just don't know yet. Certainly all that information will get released as we go, but the police report's not going to be available right now. My beard and hair are white. Yes, they are. They're very white. Sean says still thinks he's acting. Okay, well, you know what? Yeah. Cod says he wasn't acting. Yeah, I understand that. Yes, did the animal control rescue the ceiling cats? Are they marked safe? Yes. I mean, they have that little pug dog. I hope their doggo's okay. You know, the Rekieta pupper is fine. Yeah, Phil was like, "What? I didn't even know." Yep. Just because Nick said it doesn't mean it's the truth. Nick didn't say anything about that. Like I said, I'm using what I understand to be the truth there. Is the hedonism 2 trip off now? The only reason why I would go to hedonism is to sit there with the laser designator while the fucking AC-130 fucking annihilates that place. But I wouldn't go to Jamaica anyway. It's fucking nasty there. It's crime-ridden and shitty. There's a million other islands you can go to that are so much more fun. I'd rather go to the Cayman Islands than Jamaica. I'd rather go to fucking Cuba than Jamaica. No way in fuck I'm ever going to Jamaica. It's fucking dangerous there, too. So, if Sean starts losing pounds fast, we'll know something's up. Well, I'm hoping, like, my working on this is going to start paying off soon. So I've got a new plan I'm working on, but I'm not going to go on the thinner. I'm not going to look like I'm, like, thinner and, like, just deteriorate in front of you. A little meth is good for you. It builds character. Yeah, thank you. Say that was the same voice. No. The camera's been on the whole time? Yeah. Is Kayla a lefty? A lefty gave Nick the black eye. I mean, like, it could have been a lefty. Although, you know, or it could have been a lefty, somebody throwing a right, and Nick turned his head a little bit. We all depends. I mean, his nose is not damaged, which is kind of impressive. Because that, like, popped right in there. Whoever did it. Kaz is saying, "Bok, bok, 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 bok." Justin says, "I'm confused. So he's acting while also getting blown by April?" That's the beauty of people doing degenerate shit and drugs and alcohol and spiraling all out of control at the same time. You just don't know. We'll never know. It's gonna be like, what really happened at Building 7? We're not really ever gonna know. Where did all that gold go to the World Trade Center? We're never gonna know. What about that guy that was supposedly helping Timothy McVeigh? We're never gonna know. Yeah, just saying. We're never gonna know, chat. Real Hydra saying, did Nick just have his guns out? No, I mean, like I said, I gotta say, I have control of that. If I just started just busting rails here harder than guys working for Amtrak, I'm doing drugs and possession of guns. So very likely they're just locked up. Janet says, what does Clyde think of all this? Clyde is underneath the desk and he's just heartbroken. He doesn't know what to think. Clyde just wants cuddles and Clyde wants treats. That's all Clyde knows. Crescent says, I'm a specialist on the sound of jacking off. I assume most men are. They've had many years of experience at it. Cachette says, I am a local. Which county? Candy-Oi in Wilmar. Or Wilmer, or whatever you guys call it. Candy-Oi County. You guys have some weird names. In Minnesota, do you know there's a place called Ottertail County? That's so funny. There's a place called Ottertail County. Alex says, what moron does that DSP bit to make fun of him? Oh, a lot of people have made fun of DSP over the years for that. But once again, when you're drunk and high and you're just not funny, period, that just makes it all really bad. Meyer says, Nick would want you to grift. I'm sure he says that, but I also feel at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to do that to him. Like, any more than what's happened so far. I wouldn't want to be like, like, so you open up the biggest problem in the universe, fucking Dick and Vito have fucking shit-eating grins on, like, to start. Like, it's like, so it's Timcast, biggest problem, good logic, and steel toe, and mindset. That's just tonight, yeah. Oh, and Chrissy Mayer's got it all going too. She got Anthony Acumia. It's like, fuck, I'd love to pull that and get him on. But yeah, and Anthony's got some experience riding the White Stallion, I think, a little bit when he's talked about in his days. They had a dog. Yeah. It's going to be like Ralph. They're like, we poured him a bowl of food. We hope he's all right. It's like, or was his cat or whoever passed away? Drex, yeah, that's what happened. Drex called their like CPS, and he's like, Drex like, yo, hold on, let me come over, I'll get the kids. The kids are like, no. Nick gets a Soros prosecutor. I don't, hold on here. Andiyohi, County, Minnesota. Let's see here. All right, we'll do. Is he going to have a Soros prosecutor? The answer is probably no, chat. And how do we know that? We'll go all the way down to, well, actually, they've got 70 lakes in the county. 70. That's a lot of fucking lakes, including Big Candioi Lake, Little Candioi Lake. And then he has Swan Lake. Multiple. God, you motherfuckers are not creative. Unless Swan Lake's so big it touches multiple counties. I don't know. That or they just aren't creative sons of bitches. Woodcock. All right. So, let's see here. Demographics. Oh, yeah. How many people are in this county? There are 43,000 people. That's pretty fucking rural. All right. 2000 census. Okay, yeah, here we go. Politics. Republican in 2020. 61% Republican. I'm willing to bet the prosecutor ain't a Soros prosecutor. That's why I took a guess. Ain't no Soros prosecutor. So, just saying, chat. Just saying. Yes, drug use is funny and weird. It's so funny and so weird. I will say, do you think Nick's talking to guys sitting there? He's like, I got guys I talk to people. I gave him commissary at the jail because I like to hear their stories. It's so funny and weird. Pippa's dunking on Nick. Well, she's already talked about it before with her bullet dodge comments and everything. Remember, her and Camelot fucked with her. Tried to fuck with her livelihood. I don't blame her for fucking with. Like, if Nick had fucked with my livelihood, I'd fuck him right back. Anybody tries to fuck with me, I'd fuck him right back like that. Pippa's justified. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying she's justified in doing it. Yes, Freedom Burt. Yes. Baldo stocks are up. Yes. Baldo coin chat is on the rise. They're going to the Seychelles. What about the Seychelles? Jamaica's nasty. Yeah, I go to the Seychelles for a trip. That'd be really expensive, though. I'd rather go to Puerto Rico. Yeah, I'd rather go to Puerto Rico than Jamaica. Legal Mindset's talking about how he's not friends much with anyone. Well, like him and I talk, but are we broskies? No, but I'll go once this chat's over. I'll pound on the door. To my chat, let me in, let me in. You thought you were my bro. Noel said he thinks that Nick has lockout of the year locked in at this point. You know, we are at the end of May. We're at the halfway point, chat, of the year. There's a whole lot of baseball to be played yet. A whole lot of baseball to be played yet, chat. There's a reason why we don't count the score until the end of the game. But yes, I would say he's a very good front runner for now. Wow, you guys are like going way too fast here. April is 29. Yes. Well, guys, remember with the drug use, it's not the years. I mean, it's not the years, it's the miles, like Indiana Jones says. Nick went to Fire Island. I get that reference. You know, it ain't over till it's over. Yeah. It's never over. It's never over. You know? It's never over. You can't just shut this off. See, even the dogs agree. How dare you call this ahead of time, chat? How dare you? DSP has dug himself out of the running. DSP is off doing his own thing. I mean, as much as I will say this, Casino's right. You know, King Philip is off doing his own thing. Talking about games, playing games, having fun with his kitty. You know, DSP is out there doing his own thing. Isn't Earl Grey from Minnesota? Yeah, the guy who did the taser lady. Yeah. Could be him too. Yes, DSP always wins. He is like Frederick the Great. He's like the Frederick the Great of YouTube. Always victorious. Not like Frederick Barbarossa, who fell off his horse and drowned in a river. Different. Alex Sargent says, they don't think it be like it is, but it do. You have no idea how many times as an attorney you have to give that speech to people. And Cringe Peddler says, anime sucks. Copious need. Yes. I understood that reference. DSP is resilient. Yes, DSP rises above it all like Gibraltar. King Philip stands resolute. Like a rock, like the waves smashing against a rock. Like I said, I'll give him the credit. Roscoe says, I put my money on the great Robert L. McKim Sr., and he's not doing anything. Remember, there's still a whole year. There's 6 more months. There's 6 more months. And harvest time is not till the fall. So there's still time. It's never a bad pick to put your money on Robert. Kim Potter. Yeah, there we go. The taser lady. Yeah, there we go. Was April the chick in the hot tub in that one clip? Yes. Oh, Davel saying there's an exclusion zone for tech companies to run finance in the Seychelles. It's on Revolution Avenue in the Seychelles. I don't know how to pronounce that name yet. So guys, I guess we'll talk about all this other stuff tomorrow night because yeah, we're kind of a little busy right now. Well, someone think of the ceiling cats. Yeah, I think they're there. Mineral Enhance says, read that again 11 more times. Yes. Anime sucks. Cope and Sneed. Yes. Is this saga's Mr. Dick and Balls? And that's so funny. It always comes down to those memorable names: Mr. Dick and Balls, Anime sucks. Cope and Sneed. Alex Sargent for $2 saying they don't think be like it is, but it do. Yes, and they don't think it'd be like it is, but it do. And Unknown Hero says Tug was all about Nick too. Well, a lot of people. Why was there not? Why would you not like all about Nick? All about somebody who like you don't have a problem with. Like you think the guy's okay. Like everything's going good. Like I liked Nick before. I don't have a reason not to like him. I mean, to say like, oh, these people were all about him. Like, why wouldn't you be if you didn't know what was going on and Nick hadn't wronged you? Like, why would you not be all about somebody who you were on good terms with? I mean, that just makes sense. I mean, at least in my opinion. Yes. Janet Morgan says, and there's, all 1,200 of you. Can we beat the gold, Shaq? Going all night for Rekieta. Praise the goal. A farting dragon eating pizza to dethrone the law pope. Remember, it's when governments are ready to topple, it's the faintest push. Starts the collapse. Even Review Tech USA streaming about Nick. Piss on that turd. I planted corn on Tuesday. Coincidence? I think not. Roscoe says, if Robert L. McKim pew someone, I'm crowdfunding money for you to be his lawyer. I'm going to have to pay a lot. Carrollton's a haul. So driving down to Carroll County, Ohio will cost a lot. The hot tub streams were simpler times. Yes, Chauvin's attorney was a guy named Eric Martin. Actually, was it Martin or something else? But yes, no relation, by the way. If Nick gets additional charges, you'll break 20,000 subscribers. Yeah, that'd be. Oh, I feel like we're. Congrats on breaking 19K. I did not see that yet, but yes, thank you guys for subscribing. I appreciate the help. Mother Base was in the Seychelles too. Yes, it was. Mystery Sniper says no after show. There'll be an after show. I'm gonna go say hi to Legal Mindset if he's interested in having anybody on. So 2.0 says hi chat, just got home. What did I miss? Oh, nothing. Everything's great. Everything's fine. I'm here mostly because of Nick. Thank you. Yes, Falcon Hoof is right. Sometimes you are the content. Trust me, as somebody who has a page on the farms and has done some dumb things. Yes, sometimes you are the content. Gene says, how does this affect his law license? Like I said earlier, right now, no, it's not affecting it. But should he be convicted of anything? Yeah, that could cause a problem. That could cause a review. They might demand him, like they might discipline him or say you're suspended, or they'll say go into treatment. Who knows what they'll do? But if everything gets dropped, I mean, as of right now, he's innocent, so they're not gonna do any action as of this moment. And Janet Morgan says Keffel strikes again. Well, yeah, well, Keffel's got Lucas got what was coming to him. So I don't feel bad for Lucas at all. Sean, it says, Sean, have you tested yourself on how many words you can read a minute? How else do you talk and read the chat? It's impressive, in my opinion. It's more because I'm just a big fucking retard. And I got some tism flowing through me. I don't know how fast I can read a minute. I know I can read fast, and part of that's just being a spaz. But, I mean, like, you should watch me where we be in Stormy Daniels. I'm trying to machine gun that out as fast as I can. So, hold on a second, chat. Oh, okay, guys, I'm trying to catch up here, but let me see if I'll. Hold on, guys. All right. It was a secret, but because of Cassie, they got Puff and forced him to post it. Yes, Venti knew. I mean, there's a lot of people who have said they've got their own little stories and bits and pieces there. Courtney says, your mom's a hoe bag. You know, I bet my mom could kick your mom's ass. Johan saying, can we hit it? Yes, can we hit it? Is everyone going to be here tomorrow for Karen Reed? Yeah, guys, 9 a.m. tomorrow, we'll be doing Karen Reed. Should be starting on time. Brian Higgins is apparently, I guess, up on the plate for tomorrow. We'll find out. 3L law student. Or 3L law student. And you're like, oh, shit, I'm in law school. Saying it's been wild. Nice to see you. Saying it's been a wild watching Nick from before his peak to the abject downfall. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, you see all these, you know, I know for some people they see the rise and fall of YouTubers and internet personalities, and they're learning about it as it's happened. And it's like, having watched a million of these, yeah. But for me, it's even different because it's like I'm watching it happen and I'm like, I'm involved in this. Like, it is weird being part of the lore. Trust me, it's very unreal to see it from like inside. Look at Nitwit's stream tonight about Nick. Oh, Carlin Borisenko is she's a psycho. No. Yeah, like, even the psychos are getting in on this. Yeah, well, you know, milk is milk and meat is meat. So let's see here. Why was anything relatively boring? Then today everything picks up. Tomorrow we get an arraignment. Mr. Higgins and probably an Alec Baldwin ruling. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the way it goes. It's the way it goes. Can Bronca help on the gun charge? I mean, no. There's nothing to do. I mean, yeah. Kaz is saying lol, yeah. Unknown Hero says when Baldo was life kicks you in the balls. Funny. Rating mindset. Yeah, I might send you guys all over there. We demand a locals tonight. Don't worry, we will. We will. I'm gonna go see if Mindset's interested in having anybody on, and I'll talk to him for a minute. Gigi says, "Wow, you chunky boy." I'm like, I'm glad you noticed. I'm flattered. And three Lawson says, "Sean never changes." That's Brittany says, "Would there be grounds for them to get a warrant for his phone and emails?" I mean, you need a warrant to show there's proof he likely committed this crime. Well, if they found drugs in his house or on him, no. But if they wanted to search his phone to say, like, finding information about dealers, things like that, maybe. But that's going to be a little bit of a stretch, probably, because they already got the drugs. So it doesn't really matter there. Who do you think is going to be the biggest channel who will cover this? I mean, shit, it's sky's the limit, really, at this point. I mean, there are all kinds of people are going to cover it. So let's see here. Did I just say no locals? No, we will have locals. I was going to go say hi to Mindset and see if he's like talking with anybody or wants anybody to talk about with it. But oh, hold on. He DM'd me and I see it. He messaged me earlier. He's like, "Hey, do you want?" He's like, "Oh, never mind. He already started his own, so we'll see if he's if he wants me on for a little bit, we'll hang out and then we'll start locals after that chat. So I promise we'll be doing locals. When will we get to see Nick's body cam arrest? I don't know. At some point soon, but not right now. Stephen Cooper says you either forever sleep a hero or live long enough to be arrested for possession. Euler's identity, Eric Nelson. That's the name. I didn't think it was Martin, but yes, thank you. VineLink says they're both in custody. Okay, well there you go. That's actually better, Gene. That's a good way to check. VineLink is a notification thing that lets people know when people who've been charged with crimes are out, especially if they're victims of something. Lets them know immediately. Mudahar is a bitch. He basically regurgitated Kiwi Farms info. Well, he'll cover this. I mean, Turkey Tom. I mean, everybody covering this. Everybody. Oh, Sleazy, I'm sorry, dude. If you're still on here, I'll make you. Fuck, I forgot to make you a mod. Sorry. Trying to run this chat. Trying to run this show, man. Let me get you here. Hold on here. So Sleazy, type something. Type something in chat. And Nick's watching the stream while in custody. He's getting waterboarded. I'm trying to help you, Boomer. There. There. Another mod, Christ. Well, Parallax, you weren't here. Where'd you come from? I didn't see you in here tonight. Thank you for being here, man. It's good to see you. The streams tomorrow will be perfect to study for my CCST, too. Oh, well, Malcolm, good luck on that. And that's your Cisco Certified Support Technician. On 2 exams, the CST Networking and the CCST Cybersecurity exam. These exams validate work-ready skills and knowledge for entering and advancing in 2 of the most in-demand IT fields. So good luck. Good luck on that. Can I Prohawk Vice into Minnesota asking for a friend? It's a lot of travel time you're paying for there, but yes. If he called me, I'd go represent him. Watching my other favorite internet fat guy and cokehead just now. Did I say why the cops went there? We have no idea why the police were there. Most likely something involving children's services. And when they showed up, things kind of kicked off from there. Like I said, there's other theories, but based on the fact they haven't been charged with things, leads me to believe that the first theory is likely the correct theory. Now, if they get charged with multiple crimes, then my theories may play out. What exactly is a hoe bag? It's a bag of hoes. Hallfox says I'm an expert on Sean's mom's ass. I mean, if you want to brag about getting Cleveland Steamers, I guess good for you, man. Lost Cause, haven't seen the retrial. Is it good? It's good from the sense that it's not very clear the state's been able to prove that this murder occurred, but that every witness they've put on the stand so far is absolutely sketchy and not trustworthy. That's a shame. Says my money's my money's on Brian Higgins. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Does anyone know the court schedule for next week? Yes, they only have court on Tuesday, which is really weird. Then the rest of the week is off, which is the weirdest scheduling thing ever. But I'm not in charge. Legal mindset's nails his thumb is his mugshot. If he doesn't pull up after this, then there's no helping him. Yeah. I wonder what Instagram is like right now. Well, hold on. I've looked. People are saying he's out, and I'm like, I don't see anything on his Instagram that's changed. Like, he's got posts. I don't see new stuff. So I don't think anything's up on his Twitter or his Twitter. So yes, Sleazy, you've been trans now. So you've been trans now. Just what you heard on the casino. Well, okay. You guys saying what was on casino said what was unverified. Always have a bail bondsman in your list of contacts. Yeah, there's always the guys in the jail are generally there. I got a Casey invite tonight. Well, where were they? Are they going back on again? I mean, we'll see. Nick is posting on Instagram. No, he's not. Don't say it's like the judge is back. Well, I'm flattered they sent me something. I mean, if they have questions, tell Worski and PPP to reach out to me. I'll talk to them and give them a basic idea of what's going on. Let's see here. Kitchen Knife Rescue saying, this sucks. I'm sure you're trying to do what you could behind the scenes, praying for you. It's rough. I appreciate that, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I appreciate if you have prayers, say prayers for Nick. I mean, certainly prayers he gets clean. I mean, I hope he gets clean. I hope he turns this around. I'm okay. I mean, you talk to somebody and you hope that, he's somebody I know, but it's not like it's like if my brother did this, I'd be like absolutely fucking torn apart. Or if it's 2.0 or my parents, I'd be devastated. I mean, now it's somebody I know and somebody who I considered a colleague. And, it's just people, you hate to see them hurt themselves. So, I mean, it's disappointing and sad, but I hope you understand. Like, I'm not trying to rebuff you there, but just that's how I look at it. Farms pulled the police call. Seems like it was a CPS call. Well, that's not a surprise. And we'll have to. There's no way. I don't know how I'm going to catch up because now I'm probably like what 200 pages behind on the farms now at this point. Let's check. Yeah, I'm 125 pages behind, so I'll have to catch up at some point. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Yes, Dust is Safa, Rekieta. Safa. Alec Bowen ruling dropped. The case dismissed. There you go, chat. Boom. Was it with prejudice? Sean is only like 5'4". No, I'm 5'7", but yeah, you might outweigh me. I'm willing to bet you probably don't. So, yeah, guys, that's it. I think we're all caught up now. Grassroots Hegemon for $5. He says, the important thing is that it's my house now. I paid $12 and a McChicken fair and square. Off my lawn, damn it. You're going to go break into his house and squat there at squatters' rights. It's a McChicken. That's not a bad deal. That's not a bad deal. McChicken's good. And you'll be like, of course you like McChickens, you fatty. I'm like, yeah, I fucking love McChickens. Do an audiobook for Nick's thread on the farms. Oh my god. All the times at the N word. Yes. Loading Smile says, first time on the farms thing. It's interesting. You'll look around. Don't necessarily sign up yet, and then follow their advice and guides on how to sign up. I recommend you do it that way. If you didn't like, I thought you didn't like mayo. How could you like McChickens? Do I look like the type of guy who doesn't like mayonnaise? Really? Yes, McChickens were better when they were $1. Yeah. I have to put in footnotes for the ceiling cats. Yes. And Stabby gifting 10 memberships. Thank you, Stabby, for your generosity and support. So, update on the lying cop arresting the golfer. Yeah, basically the cop was a fucking liar and a little histrionic cunt. That's what we found out. He's like, oh, he drugged me down the road and shit. No, the cop comes running over to him, screaming and banging on the car like a fucking idiot. So imagine that. The cops lied. The cops fucking lied. The cop got fired. Oh, I didn't know that yet, but BS says, now I'm a paying member. You have to do my bidding. That's not how funny. What night do I do members only? Typically Tuesdays, but just this week didn't work out. And, well, it's not Tuesday anymore, but Tuesday or Wednesday, but I try to do Tuesdays. Yes, the big thing there, Lolita, if you're on the farms, don't use an email address that's been used anywhere else. Proton Mail is a good place to do it through. Don't use a typical screen name you've used before. Pick something goofy and random off the wall. Name yourself after a piece of military equipment. Name something completely something you would never do. And look, you'll get a vibe for the names that are there. You know, people are all kinds of things. Like you could be like, I don't know, whatever you could think of. You can be like Vito Giswaldi's like abscessed hemorrhoids or something. You can use that as a name. Name yourself Rekieta's mugshot. Yeah, all kinds of things. Name yourself after a finer artisan chair. Think of all the slurs. Yes. Name yourself a slur. Also an option. Pick Sean Martin as your username. That would be fucking hilarious. Name yourself Stug3 Offs G. I bet somebody's already got that, considering the amount of tank autists and military autists we have on there. Select the name Joshua Connor Moon. Apparently, you could help the Alliance delete a fuck ton of federal records. That's not a surprise either. So, name yourself Clyde. I will ask Noel to take that down. I'll be like, Josh, you got to take it down. Don't do my dog's name. Josh. And I'll join Russell in his lawsuit. Take his name down. My doggo is getting sad. Is there room on the farm to name myself some math autist name? Probably. Yes, to everybody who's donated tonight and donate subs, thank you for supporting to, donated the memberships. I really do appreciate it. Everybody who's got one I know is appreciating it. I'll do a shower call for Clyde. You're goddamn right, I would. Clyde is a good boy. He's a good boy. The police came. He was outside barking, and the cops showed up. You know what he did? Cops came around the corner and flashed the flashlight at him. Clyde barked and ran inside. He ain't talked to no fucking police. He's a good dog. Let's see here. I'm open to a McChicken-based offer in your house right now. You better start buying me chickens, homie. I'll let you know when to stop. Clyde called in grazing fire. Yeah. Oh. All right, chat. And we've been going on. Wow, it's midnight already. Good thing you didn't get Ruby Ridged. Well, a McChicken-based economy. That would be... I would enjoy that more than a hat-based economy, but a hat-based economy is still pretty cool. Have you seen the Anime Sucks Copics Need High Test images yet? I have. Actually, wait. No, I have not seen those. I'm not sure I want to see the dragon eating pizza, farting in a laboratory. Biggest problem did the best Nick stream so far. Well, yeah. Yes. Oh, Mandy. You came and you gave me some handcuffs. Peg the dollar to the McChicken. That would be awesome. Go over to Ukraine like, all right, whole holes, here we go. Oh, you whatever you called whole coin? No, we're not doing that anymore. We're pegging your new currency to McChickens. Deal with it. Neo prototype. What are you doing here, Fred? Gosney's on MG Law. Yeah. Wait, is that a black eye, Nick? Yeah, it looks like a black eye. And from last night when he was on locals for like half a second, yeah, he looks like he's got a shiner. He doesn't have Irish sunglasses. He's only got one. So he's only got like an Irish monocle. Anime Sucks as our Mr. Dick and Balls. Allegedly, Aaron bragged about making the call. Like I said, not something I would do, but I've never been in a situation, but I understand it. I totally understand it. Totally understand it. Break into your house, smoke a rock on your couch. Well, like I said, getting in the house, congratulations. If you get into the house, you're gonna see like if you get into my house, you're gonna see like the little live leak thing pop up above your head. And you're gonna be like, oh no. Grifter is saying that's better than the current Ukrainian economy, which is based on underage girls. Oh, oof. Will the Rekieta thread hit 4K by tomorrow? There's no way it's not going to gain 7 or 60 some pages before noon tomorrow. Are you kidding me? It's already at 3940. So, Aaron denied calling this in. Okay, well, yeah, if it's not him, it's not him. That's a shame, says reread. Regarding Reed, did anyone make the obvious joke that Pig DNA because he was a cop? I was right there in front of me, like a dead guy in the snow, and I missed it. Clever girl. Clever girl. I think we did make the pig joke at some point. McRib-based economies are better. They're deflationary due to their rarity. They're disgusting, though. They are disgusting. Darcy says Aaron called her parents. Oh, well, there you go. And that may have kicked it all off. Yes, Salami Ukulele, the battle cry of Ukraine. Cal Rowley is saying, "Hey Sean, I'm Cal who got his chat read by Nick. I have a question. Do you like my parodies? I think you may have seen some on the thread. If you're the one doing some of these parodies, those are fucking hilarious. And if you're the guy in my Discord who does the Ethan Ralph impressions, those are pretty good too. Whoever that is, those are hilarious." Stephen Cooper says, "What was the anime suck stuff?" That's the thing. That's the super chat Nick read like a million times and had the fucking creepy masturbation picture. Yes. Free Palestine. Yes. A free Palestine with the purchase of Palestine of greater or equal value. You know, it's like, and then the Arabs are like, no wonder they're like, they don't understand why the Jews showed up. Pisek is saying, anime sucks, Copus need. Anime sucks, Copus need. Anime sucks, Copus need. Oh. Carl, thank you very much for your comment. I do appreciate that, but I appreciate that. But like I said, it's, you know, not worried about how it would turn out the other way. I'm only worried about how I did it my way. But I appreciate your comment. I just feel Nick didn't read the super chat enough times. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Weeks ago, the MDMA stream was over a year ago. Yeah, well, it's a lot's happened in a year. It's been a long year. Nick looping on the super chat was the hardest laugh I had in a while. I mean, it was funny, but at the same time, when you're like done laughing, you're like, oh, that's sad. Will we get in World War III before Nick makes bail? Very possible. Yes, if I ever get the Sinichu medallion, well, I'm calling the Catholic Church and they're going to do an exorcism. Enjoying too many of those Nicaraguan nose nachos, that Bolivian marching powder. I wish I could say it like when you're in like watching Beverly Hillbillies. Black gold, Texas tea. That won't be enough, Sean. You have to take it to the trip to Mount Doom. Sinus snalts. Yeah. Montegraph, that's really you, Monty. Hi, Monty. How many people do you think will throw him under the bus tomorrow for clicks? I mean, honestly, I don't think too many people. Just cuz. And I mean, at the end of the day, like if you throw them under, like who's gonna, people are gonna get pissed. But also, I don't think, most people on LawTube would do that. So I don't really think anybody will. I am not happy to be wrong on that one. I really hope I'm right. Fedorovsky says I'm not American, lol. With a name like that, I would assume you're not. You're probably French. Or you hail from Andorra. Legal Bites won. I mean, she survived. I don't know if you call that a win, but... Aesop's Fable says, as usual, no video description of any use. Just a tease to get you to watch and donate. Well, I don't know. I mean, we don't have any video. That's the problem. It's not uploaded yet. Once the video's there, guys, we'll watch it. Yeah, Ethan and Dick or Vito will be all over this, so... I wouldn't mind a Nate the Lawyer the video on it, honestly. Well, we'll see. I'm sure... Nate will do a very tasteful way of handling it. I bet if he does so. Aesop's Fable says, as usual, no video. Wait, you've already said this a couple of times here, so I'm not sure how you're doing that there. Garfield says Monograph inadvertently sent this emotion by winning the appeal. Yeah. And I will say, I mean, I know I mentioned this on the local stream when I read it the night on Monday. Had Colorado figured it out, the Colorado courts had figured things out, the Minnesota courts, I think, would have given the W to Nick. It said Colorado law would have applied and would have been proper. The problem was Colorado courts had never decided a lot of the questions that the Minnesota court needed to get done. Even then, I still think Nick, based upon the statements from the judge in the last pretrial, which he's like, I still think it's defamation per se, Monty probably would have beat the anti-slap issue. So even if he wins, he was still probably going to lose ultimately and get into discovery, like I said from the start. But reading the court's opinion, they were looking for an excuse to give it to them, but they were missing that last bit. FOIA the body cam, I will, but there's nothing I can do. Aesop, yeah, I've seen you say this. Yes. The Legal Eagle is going to do a video. Yeah, well, he's too busy FOIAing Trump. M. Terry says, not the killer. Say, did one of the courts shoot down the gun charge thing on the way to SCOTUS? For Hunter, no. All of his stuff is still intact. So, Chrissy Mayer set this in the motion by introducing Nick to April. Yeah. Yep. And actually, I hate to say this, but whoever killed Chrissy Mayer's dad is actually responsible, because then Chrissy wasn't at the night and Nick got to do all the stand-up, and that got Nick and April to hang out more. So that's what really happened here. Like, you know, the pane of glass shatters in multiple ways. It never shatters the same way twice. Oh, Carrie saying, oh, Carrie, I called you Carl earlier. I'm sorry. Dick was laughing and making content on his misfortune. I saw a minute or two of that. Goalie says, have Legal Eagle and Ethan Ralph on. Oh my God, I would love to watch Ralph go against Legal Eagle. Just fuck with them. That would be hilarious. 3L law student saying the only other major hurdle was the Minnesota believed anti-slap violated the state constitution. Yes, but if the standards, because there were so many splits in the Colorado courts, if the standards had shaken out the way, like one way versus the other, they would have said, okay, this actually qualifies as not violating our state constitution. Cool. The bigger issue were the preponderance of the evidence standard and a couple other things you had to do pre-trial. The court found to be unconstitutional. And since the courts in Colorado hadn't figured it out, that was like kind of the big hang up. But had they fixed it, or had there were some definitive rules, it probably wouldn't be a problem. Yes, Chrissy's dad was killed, was murdered a while back. Actually, really, really sad. It was the night she was supposed to do that show in Minnesota, and like something, had happened, and yeah, it was awful, an awful, awful thing. Lisa says, "What is EVS?" EVS is Ethan Van Sciver. If you guys you've ever seen him on with Nick, he is a comic artist. He's an artist for comic books. He used to work for DC Comics. A very, very skilled artist. Does his own shows. It's a Comics Secrets Pro on YouTube. So, Ryu Planeswalker says, for want of a Baldo. Yes. For want of a horseshoe nail. Pro Secrets comic artist. Yeah, I forget what it's called. Oh. Abel, how is it related? And we were just kind of joking because that happened. Because that happened, Chrissy didn't do the stand-up she was set to do, meaning Nick had to do his, like, 30-minute long stand-up, and he spent a lot of time hanging out with April and Aaron, and then everything really spiraled out of control from there. Yes, Ethan gives great art tips. You can disagree or agree with the other stuff. Who knows? That's up to you. Will we get a prison Baldo review? He's gonna have to make one out of like magazines and like paper mache it. Although it'd be funny because if somebody smuggled in a Baldo, they'd have to put it up their ass, and it's like kind of that's a little different because normally you're putting things up your ass you don't want to be there, like shanks, and yeah, guys really will hoop those to hide them, and then you got to go out in the yard and shit out a shank. Like it's a real thing that happens. Sometimes cell phones, like a little awkward, but that can be done. Hella says catching me up quick. Okay. Hell, I'll talk to you later. Oh my god, there's so much to catch up on. You want a Baldo up your ass? No, I don't want a Baldo up my ass. Yes, but hella, the long and the short of it is Nick is in jail right now for possession of drugs and possession of a firearm while possessing drugs. It's been so long since I've seen a yin yang sign. Oh, Nicole says you're going to miss locals. All right. Well, I'm going to just go see if Mindset's still going, and I'll probably say hi to him. And then, guys, after that, if he doesn't have me on, I'll go straight to locals. Otherwise, I'll hang out with him for a minute, and then we'll start locals up. So, yeah, guys, that was. I guess who am I kidding? I had all this other crap set up for tonight. We'll cover those tomorrow. They'll be fun tomorrow night. And I guess we'll start off by saying, or we'll sign off by saying, Karen Reed tomorrow night, Karen Reed tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. And just because Nick may have did it doesn't mean he's guilty. Good night, chat. Actually, here, hold on. I forgot to switch you guys over. Hold on. I need a transfer. Yes, but yeah, it's a day of days, chat. It's a day of days. We'll put it like that. We'll put it like that. Is Mindset still on? I can't find his. No, there he is. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many people talking about Nick tonight. So, anyways, chat. I will see you guys around. Thank you so much for everybody being here. Over 1,000 the whole night. That's been awesome. Yeah. Why is the camera still on? So, yeah. Take care, everybody. Alyssa's already got me clipped. Yeah, the belt buckle noise. Well, not wearing a belt. So here you go. All right. Take care, everybody. Good night.